Well, welcome to the TinCan Podcast, episode 3, 4, 2, who knows?
Three.
Three, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for the correction.
Don't know what you're talking about.
Let's just jump in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
we
with
shall jump.
First point of talking, some movies apparently.
well,
Yeah,
I was just gonna quickly note that, like, hello, how have you been ever since quarantine
yeah,
and the
of
last
course.
podcast? Because we haven't really properly talked like this with a camera or anything like that. We've all been kind of stuck at home. Some people doing college stuff, some people working, some people also working on other stuff like YouTube and stuff like that. But yeah, what have you been up to?
Fuck all.
And you?
Yeah, I've been working, and I've been trying to work. Yeah. That's basically it.
I've been working and I've been trying to work. Oh, I got a wasp at my window.
Would have done it. We would have recorded sooner, but I had no faith in my internet, and it only took me a while to figure out that I can use my data on my phone and use the hotspot for my laptop.
Give me a second.
And then I got good internet that way. So that is how this is currently.
The reliable internet network of this country.
Yeah, because like my highest internet speed out here is 25. My highest download speed is 25.
That is
So
absolute garbage. I get
it
30,
is garbage.
40,
Yeah,
which is okay.
You're in a town like that.
Well-
That's basic.
Well, can you really call it a town though?
It's a town.
It's got two.
Like,
It's got more than
it's-
one
it-
shop.
It's too big to call a village. It's like there's a village, there's a town, and then there's a big ass town, and then there's a city. So
And then there's a ghetto pretending to be a town.
yeah, basically. But
not saying any names.
What were you talking about? Sorry, I was just killing a wasp.
Some just ghettos pretending to be towns. You know which town.
Yeah. Well, you mean I know which ghetto.
Exactly.
There are parts of the towns. There are parts of the two towns we're talking about that can be considered ghettos.
Like
No, it's
about
all,
80% of them.
all of them.
You see the entrance looks nice.
Yeah, and so does the exit.
Yeah, as you were saying, Alex, there's some movies that come out over the past couple of months, and I think I'm the only one here that's seen them all. I think.
I have seen none of these.
I haven't
been keeping up with movies at all. I've just been rewatching TV shows now.
I love how
Since
you're
I have
being.
time to marathon them.
I love how you're being very vague about what these are and not actually saying. Anyway,
Yeah.
the movies that have come out for you guys that are watching that don't know are Underwater, Fantasy Island, The Rhythm Section, Extraction, and Capone.
Yeah, they're all the
Capone.
movies I've seen, and I'm
Capone.
just going to give you a one by one mini
Capone's
review.
not
Well, you've seen them.
I'd be
You've seen
interested in
them, so you've seen them, so
So
work away. Like I'll just say this:
Un-
I've watched
un-
Underwater.
you've watched Underwater,
I've watched Underwater and Extraction.
Extraction, so we can get on the same page as both. Okay, so I'm going to
Yeah.
read my mini review of Underwater, and you can tell me if you kind of agree with it or not. I think it's a passable sci-fi thriller that falls short of being a decent horror movie.
Yeah.
Because
No, what-
it stars Kirsten Stewart, and those of you who don't know her, she is Bella from Twilight. So
I don't
I'd be
think they
surprised
wanted
if you
to
didn't
know
know that, because even if you haven't watched it, it's probably one of the most hated franchises in the world today. So I'd be surprised if you didn't know that name. But yeah, she's in it, and she's okay, decent. I'd say she's fairly decent in it. She can carry the film for the most part. There are characters. There's this other actress that from the Iron Fist TV series. He plays Colleen Wing, and she's probably my favorite in the whole thing, honestly. And,
Christian has she's got the lesbian hairstyle in this one, in Underwater.
Well, it's yeah. But I think she's pretty straight in this movie, though, because there was a mention of a boyfriend and whatnot. But it's basically set in this they're in the deepest part of the ocean, and basically they're drilling for oil, I think, and there's something that happens. There's a breach to a alternate. Well, not an alternate. There's a breach to a separate part of somewhere, and these creatures come out of it, and basically it's about this team of people.
Yeah, just rehash Pacific Rim for the main plot of the movie.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Yeah. So basically, they're drilling. They're
drilling. Get a hole. Get some monsters.
Yeah, but this hole.
It's like the prequel to Pacific Rim or something.
Yeah, the actual.
They get kaijus coming out soon.
It's an actual good prequel, not like the second Pacific Rim. That was a terrible.
What second Pacific Rim?
Exactly.
Pacific Rim 2 was horrendous.
What Pacific? There was only one Pacific Rim movie. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I agree. There is only one.
Yeah, there is only one.
The second one never happened.
No.
But Underwater, I think it's. I would say it's watchable. I'd say it's watchable. There were parts that kept me feeling.
Now I've seen the review scores for all of these, and if this is watchable, I don't know about the rest of them.
Honestly, the rest of them is but that's Underwater. Nathan, what are your thoughts on Underwater before we talk about the next movie?
So the plot was, I'm nearly sure that they were drilling down to grab what were they trying to get? They were trying it was oil, wasn't it?
I think so. I honestly can't remember. It was that they were drilling for
probably
something.
Oil. So they were drilling for something. But it wasn't that when they breached a hole that it was a different universe. It was more of it was a pocket under that surface layer that they thought was the bottom of the ocean, that they drilled into a pocket. I'm nearly sure, and that's where all these creatures were. If I'm right,
that's basically it.
Yeah, so it wasn't actually like a breach to a new world or a different universe or anything like that. So yeah, I can understand with you saying their main plot was basically Pacific Rim's main plot. Yes and no. It didn't have.
It features that.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. It has.
If you put it down in bullet points, it's just small details.
It's a team of people trying to get from point A to point B with a bunch of monsters in between.
I mean, isn't that every fucking movie?
Yeah.
Well, not every movie, but every movie with monsters in them. It's they're always going from point A to point B. Do you know what I mean? So then you could just say every movie copies the first ever movie that had monsters in it. You know what I mean? Yeah. No.
Yeah, but when you're describing a movie's premise and then you're like, Pacific Rim? There's a bit of a problem when you instantly just recognize a movie that's
no, I'm not saying it. I'm not saying that
there's nothing wrong with just rehashing the same thing. But...
No, I understand. I understand where you get this from. I, especially watching this movie, I did have that feeling of once they said they've breached a hole after 100%, it was straight up. This is just Pacific Rim, but it does have a different concept that it's not giant robots. It's not giant. Actually, in fact, there was. I can't say it.
Let's not spoil
anything.
Brilliant. We're not going to spoil
anything. Giant monsters.
Right. But no, it's actually right. No, actually, Aaron, do you know what? I am going to because do you know what? Now thinking about it, this is Pacific Rim. 100%. It's Pacific Rim 1 and 2 put together, because what happens at the end of Underwater, right? Before I talk about it, this is a spoiler, so if you haven't watched it, go watch it and come back to the video. But What happens at the end is all these like little aliens, right? They're about 11, 12 foot tall with tentacles and everything like that, joined together on this huge ass fucking monster, which is what Pacific Rim done in the second one. They joined up 3 monsters to create this huge fucking Goliath and fucking god of a
That's
fucking
not what
monster.
happened.
Yes, it did.
That's-
In Pacific
No, it
Rim
didn't.
2.
Oh, well, in Pacific Rim 2, but that's not what happened in Underwater.
Yes, it is. At the very end, they all gathered up on this huge ass fucking monster. Yes, it did.
Yeah, there was a big monster, but it didn't come from the rest of the wee monsters.
No, but I'm saying they all gathered up on it as if they were the defense mechanism for this monster or whatever. Like, that they were the outer shield for this monster. If you get me. Like, it was exactly like Pacific Rim now thinking about it. Sorry. I'll take back everything. What?
There was the Queen and all of its little workers, basically that.
I mean, you could say that about Pacific Rim too. Like, there was the like, you know what I mean? Like, these little fuckers come running out of whatever.
Because this is nonsensical at this point.
So, Alex, are you sold on seeing this movie?
I am sold on skipping this movie.
No. I would suggest watching this movie because of the fact that it's got a concept of Pacific Rim 2, and it does it better. There's no cringy one-liners.
Better than that, though.
No, but there's no cringy one-liners of "I'll see what I can do" and then fucks off. It's proper
I don't mind
acting.
the cringe one-liners. I don't mind that.
That's all
Everything
Pacific
else
Rim.
is garbage.
But that's all Pacific Rim 2 was about. Was just cringy one-liners, trying to promote what's his name? I know his name's Finn in Star Wars, but what's his
John Boyega.
John Boyega, trying to promote him as much as possible. His acting was completely terrible in Pacific Rim. But
I wouldn't necessarily say they were trying to promote him. They were just hoping the money would make. They were hoping the movie would make money because of him. They weren't trying to promote him.
Well, yeah, they were trying. They were promoting him. They were promoting him so much to try and pull that audience in because they thought he had the pull. He didn't. Well, he might have a little bit, but his acting was terrible in that movie. It was complete trash, and that is why Pacific Rim. I don't know if it's flopped, but it should have. If it has flopped,
I think it flopped.
That's the reason why. Because his acting was completely terrible. Right? Can we all agree that the two actors that showed up in the first Pacific Rim, like in that whole Pacific Rim, were really, really good?
Yeah, the first Pacific Rim was great. Charlie Hunnam was in the first one.
Yeah.
Idris Elba was in the first one. Fucking top shit.
Yeah, it was really good acting.
But let's stay on topic here. Underwater, Nathan, I have to ask you, out of either 5 stars or a 10 rating, what would you give it? Because I give it a 3 stars out of 5. So that's basically a 6 out of 10.
3 stars out of 5.
Yeah.
I would give it I would give Pacific Rim a 3, so I would definitely give this a 7. 6.5.
Okay, that's confusing.
6.5, 7.
That's a lot.
All right.
You're saying it's an above average movie and you liked it.
Yes, I did like it.
I think it's passable.
I did like it, and the reason for that is because it did have that factor of it did have that scare factor because I was watching it in my bed late at night in the dark on my phone, and like all I could hear was this thing like going like, and like you knew something was coming, and you knew it was like the aliens, and I was just there like fucking tucking my feet under the blanket and everything like it like. To me, it was it creeped me out, and for that reason, I would give it a 7. And it was good, nothing cringy about it. Like I would watch it again.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, let's move on to the next movie, and the next movie I've seen that you have not seen is Fantasy Island, and basically Fantasy Island. My mini review is basically, it's a great example of a cool idea poorly executed. Because basically, Fantasy Island, it's basically this island, mysterious, magical island where people come to, and basically they can have whatever fantasy that come true. There's this dude in charge, I can't remember his name, but he basically makes everybody's fantasy come true. People win competition and they come out in like groups of four or five, and there's a cast of 4 or 5 people that go to the island. Michael Pena, who you may know as Ant-Man's best friend in Ant-Man, Louise. He's the dude that makes all these fantasies come true. And Maggie Q, she's in it. You might recognize her from being a really attractive woman in Mission Impossible 3, and she was in a TV series called Nikita, where she played some assassin. I never watched it, but she's pretty cool. And there was a few other cast members that I didn't recognize, but it's there's Samara Weaving, I think, is another one. Is the other. I think she's kind of one of the main leads in it, and basically they're on the island. They all have their fantasies playing out, and then things unfold. And Michael Rooker is also in it. He makes an appearance. That's Yondu from Guardians of the Galaxy, and Murray from The Walking Dead. If you don't know him by his name, and it felt like it was going to go somewhere. Were really good, and then it just by the end it just falls flat on its face. There's just so many things that they could have done really well, and I gave it a 2.5-star review. I thought there was bits and pieces of it that were enjoyable. There was moments where you felt like there was a really good twist coming, and then it just kind of it's like a wee fart, and it just flattens out into nothing.
Okay.
But yeah, it's I'd say it's a fairly skippable movie. I wouldn't really recommend it, but yeah, that is Fantasy Island. And the other movie I seen, the Rhythm Section, is actually one I was looking forward to. I also gave this one a 2.5-star review. It's basically Blake Lively. For those of you who don't know her, she's Ryan Reynolds' wife. She was in Age of Adeline. She was in The Shallows, that shark movie. And my mini review for it is, it's a very underwhelming action drama with such little depth to it that not even a solid performance from Blake Lively and Jude Law could save it. So Jude Law is in this movie, and not even he could improve this movie. It's basically about this girl. She loses her family, and she becomes an addict, and her life is just falling apart. And then she starts basically looking into who was responsible for the death of her family, and because they got killed in a plane crash, and it's revealed that she was actually supposed to be on this plane with them, but she didn't want to go. So that's why she sort of turned to drugs and all that, because she felt responsible, or maybe not responsible, but she felt like she should have been there with them, and she felt like she cheated death in a way. So she sort of just looks into who's responsible for her death, and eventually she comes across Jude Law, who trains her, and she gets missions, and things unfold, and it just like there's one really, really cool car chase scene, and that's it. That's really the only positive I can really give about this movie. Jude Law, Blake Lively, solid performances, and a cool car chase scene, and that's it.
So it's just mediocre and forgettable.
Yeah, I mean, that's basically it. And one of the producers were saying that they hoped that this movie would spark a new series similar to the Bond series. And I can tell you, after I watched that movie and I thought about that remark, I almost pissed myself laughing, because if she genuinely watched this movie and thought she could make a series similar to James Bond out of this, I don't know what the fuck is going through her head.
I just think that's she being sexist.
No, because I love Blake Lively. She's fucking great. Like she's fucking badass, and she could have done so well if this movie had something. But really, really wanted you to feel something, but I just couldn't get into it. It was
That about sums
everything
up the
was,
quality of that movie then.
yeah. So
Yeah.
I give that a two and a half.
I see what you done there,
review.
Alex.
No, we're gonna finish with a movie both me and Nathan have seen.
Right, so I have a quick question.
No.
Fantasy Island, would it have done
Yeah.
better if they didn't have the comedic guy from Ant-Man's friend?
No, because he was probably one of the better things about the film.
Yeah,
Yeah,
try to
without
fucking
him,
resurrect an old TV show and make it into a movie.
Yeah, but was it
Like-
too was there comedy in it? Was it a comedy thing?
it is kind of a dark comedy. Like well, I wouldn't say it's a dark comedy, but it's a dark movie with comedy in it, and
Nah, it doesn't work.
There's quite a few funny moments. I'll say that much.
It doesn't work
Because they have to play with the idea of, you know, people's fantasies being fulfilled, and like there's these two blokes, this Asian dude and a white dude, who are basically brothers. They've like known each other since they were kids or whatever. I can't remember exactly, but they've known each other for a long time. They consider each other brothers, and basically their interactions there are kind of the funniest. And like Michael Pena, he has no comedy moments. Like he's not involved in any of the comedy in the movie. He's one of the more serious things in the movie. And there's bits and pieces where he tries to come across as intimidating, threatening, and mysterious, and he kind of successfully does that. But yeah, the movie itself was just kind of overall shit. It fell flat in its face in the third act. I can say that much.
Okay,
but
I'll not be watching that.
Next movie I'm going to talk about here is a Hugh Jackman movie that came out there recently on HBO, and my mini review for it is so yeah, Hugh Jackman is damn great in this, like really, really damn great. If you don't watch it, you're missing out on some quality Hugh Jackman acting. Get on it, people. So that is my mini review for this 4-star movie about this superintendent of a school.
Which movies is you're talking about now?
It's a Bad Education.
Oh, okay.
Hugh Jackman.
You didn't put it in the notes. That's why I was kind of
didn't say the name
I didn't
either.
put that in the notes. All right, okay.
Yeah,
well, fair enough.
And you didn't even say the name of the movie. Yeah.
Bad Education. Hugh Jackman plays a school superintendent. This is based on a true story. There's a crime element involved. It's basically there's money being stolen from the school, and there's a bunch of characters in this movie who may or may not have stolen it, and Hugh Jackman is involved to an extent, and like I don't want to give anything away because the way things unfold, it sort of tries to keep you guessing of who's responsible.
Basically,
or where this money's going.
Basically, you've got gay Wolverine coming after your ass. So
yeah, he also plays a gay man in it, and yeah, it's like it feels weird because after seeing Hugh Jackman in so many manly tough roles, just seeing the sudden 180 and seeing him be so.
Well, I'm glad that he's come out of the closet. I'm glad he's come out of the closet.
But yeah, it was weird seeing that. But he hits it like I believed like his character down to the core. And there's some moments where because he also plays his character is a bit unpredictable and mysterious as well as the one in Fantasy Island, but there was some moments where you just don't know what's going to happen. Like there's some close-ups on his face, and you think he's about to hit somebody, but he doesn't, and it's really, really, really damn intense. So just I can't really say too much about it, but all I can say is it's a movie you really should watch, especially if you're a fan of Hugh Jackman.
What would you rate it?
Really, really damn good. I gave it 4 stars out of 5. Because there were a few moments through the movie where the pacing was a bit off and it sort of slowed down a wee bit. And there was a side character who, well, as much like she was okay acting wise, but I couldn't get fully invested in it. So like that's where that's the full star or half star, because I've never given a movie 5-star review because I just feel like there's always room for improvement. So I just can't give.
You're a bit like me.
It has to be really, really, really special in order for me to give it a 5-star review.
Yeah, Endgame, 5-star review.
I didn't give it a 5-star. I gave it 4.5.
No. See, now you're picking at things. Endgame, 5 stars.
Endgame, Infinity War was better.
Endgame was fun.
It was.
No. And Infinity War were fun, but there were still some noticeable plot.
There's an hour and a half of fucking boring ass fucking garbage there.
No, at the start, it satisfied me. Boom, his head's lying on the floor. Like,
and then an
good.
hour of fucking garbage time travel.
It was still interesting to watch.
I enjoyed it. But
just didn't give a shit about it.
Bad Education, go watch it. We're going to move on to a movie me and Nathan have both seen. Alex, I don't know if you have seen Extraction, the Netflix movie with Chris Hemsworth in it.
Well, that is sad to hear that, because that movie is really good. It is really good. I wasn't expecting what I've seen. I'll be very vague about it because Alex, I'm recommending that you go and watch this movie. Like, it kind of was heartwarming a little bit, because so Chris Hemsworth is playing this soldier.
Set the scene.
That he lost a kid, his child. Yeah, a few years before this movie kind of thing, right? So it was a few years. I can't remember what he lost the child to though.
It was cancer.
Oh, right, okay, yeah. And so, going off the name of the movie, it's called Extraction. So he's obviously hired for a job, and he needs to extract somebody. He's not told who this somebody is until they take him in and they're actually talking about it. And then he finds out it's a kid. Along this movie, him and the kid kind of bond.
You don't have to go into it and spoil the entire movie now.
No, I'm not. Like, they're this is very vague, I do think, Aaron, yeah? As long as I don't mention the so
basically,
wait. So let me just finish up, right? So because of the character bonding, it worked for me because it was heartwarming. It was kind of like a father figure thing, like that thing that was going on, and so I felt like that. Like I kind of not understood, but had I was kind of aw, kind of thing. It was it just made me think of my dad and how close that we're pretty tight, me and my dad. So it just was it was a heartwarming movie. It was good. Acting was solid from everybody. I couldn't really fault it for anything. Maybe a few CGI scenes of just explosions and stuff, maybe if you really wanted to nitpick, but the flow of the movie to me was fine. It didn't flow too fast. It wasn't too fast, it wasn't too slow. They kept the pace for me anyway. It was pretty decent. When watching it, I don't think I ever came to a point where it was oh, I know that was gonna happen, or I knew that was gonna happen throughout it at all. At all, Aaron, and I'm looking at you, and you know what I'm talking about. Yes?
I might know. I don't know.
You do know. But for me, the movie was good. I think it's been one of the best movies I've watched that isn't a superhero movie. Yeah.
All right.
I would safely put it there. Even though it wasn't one that went to the cinemas or anything like that, I don't think it could have because of the time it came out as well. But would it have went to the cinema?
No, it was a Netflix exclusive. So
yeah, so I'm including all cinema movies as well. Like, this to me was the best movie, one of the best movies that isn't.
You've seen this year so far?
No, that isn't a superhero movie.
All right, fair enough.
Has there been anything else out this year so far around the start? No superhero movies.
So there hasn't been any superhero movies, but for me, the best movie that's come out this year so far is Invisible Man.
Oh,
Ever seen it?
Have you seen it?
Never.
Oh, you gotta see it. I watched it, and you haven't put Invisible Man down on the list as well. But we'll talk. We'll get to that one. But yeah,
that's because it came out ages ago. But yeah, we'll cover that after.
Yeah.
I give my thoughts on this movie. Because as Nathan was saying there, it's about Chris Hemsworth. He has to extract this boy who is the son of a drug lord who is in prison, and this other drug lord who has a rivalry with the son's father wants to get back at him. So Chris Hemsworth is the father of the son is in prison. The rival drug lord kidnaps his son, takes him. He's looking for some money. Blah blah blah. Chris Hemsworth is sent in to rescue him and extract him from the city, and then the city is put on lockdown. So it's funny that this movie came out when everybody's on lockdown. So there was that element to it. So he has to escape the city on lockdown, and throughout the son and the boy and Chris Hemsworth, they form a bond, and that's probably it's one of the best things in the movie, but it is not the best thing about this movie, because the best thing about this movie is the action. Holy fuck. The action in this movie is fucking class.
Yeah.
And when I was saying the car chase scene and rhythm section was good, there was a car chase scene in this that's fucking phenomenal. It is fucking phenomenal. And the hand-to-hand combat between this bloke and Chris Hemsworth, there's one particular scene where they're in a street and it's all one shot, and it's fantastic. Like, it's just it's so good.
Yeah.
Like, you have no idea.
Like,
Alex,
yeah.
I think you would appreciate this movie.
Like, I never thought watching
Chris
Hemsworth play Thor that he'd be able to move this quick. But no, and I don't mean fat Thor. I mean just normal Thor. I didn't think he'd be able to move this quick. But in this movie,
well, that's it. That's what months of choreography will get you. Will get you to do. I think that's impressive that he was able to. It was able to be choreographed that well, and he was able to make it look so convincing that he was doing all that. And
it was good.
For you Stranger Things fans out there is an appearance from one of your favorite characters in it, so you should give it a wee watch for that cameo appearance. But the movie is good. Probably
shall we give the name away? Shall we say the name?
Yeah, sure. You give him.
All right, okay. I'll give it all. David
Harbour.
Oh, you didn't have to. I was gonna do a wee thing. I was like, I'm gonna say David, and if you've watched Stranger Things, you'll know who I'm talking about. So you don't need me to say this. But yeah, right. You've just ruined it. You've ruined it. So
Hellboy is in it.
Yeah, but, the Soviet Union's in it. Captain
Russia.
Captain Russia's in it.
The son of Mother Russia is in this.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think we just move on to the next movie.
I gave it a 3.5 star review, mainly because I do think it was predictable in some areas, and there was I took off half a star for the predictability, and then I took off another half star for the ending, which I felt like
for the ending
didn't make any sense.
Are you serious?
Like the very, 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 very end.
Yes.
The very, 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 very
yes.
end. Like I smiled at that bit, but I'm just like, really?
Man, the reason for that ending is to have you on your seat and right. Quick question: are they making another one to it?
No, I don't know. I don't
right.
think so.
Well, I'm hoping that they are, because this statement will not make sense if they aren't. But it's to have you on your seat so that you come back to watch the next one to find out what has happened. And it just fits. It fits.
Maybe, but with everything that happened up until that point, I don't think it made sense.
Well, see,
I couldn't buy into it. We're not going to say what it was, but I just couldn't buy into it.
Oh no, I bought into it. I am sold. I am 100% sold. Like, take my money if I gotta pay to go and watch it next time. Like, it doesn't matter. Or if they come out with another one, I will pay for it. I will go to cinema if they decide to, which I highly doubt. They might just throw it on Netflix like they have done. But yes, no. I'm sorry, I can't agree with the ending. The ending to me was just a shock, but it was excitement.
Well, like, for you it was a shock, but for me it was just like a really though. Really?
No,
I don't buy that. That was basically in the last 5 seconds of the movie. that was my reaction. But I think it is well worth a watch.
I give it
90. I think 90 million people tuned in to watch it in the first week or so. So
that's because everybody's sitting at home. That's because everybody's not doing anything. Also, by the way, you said you've only taken away like 1 full star. You said you've taken half a star away for predictability and half a star.
Yeah, because I gave it 3.5 stars. But
that would be 4.
Another half star would give it 4, and then another half star would give it 4.5. So that's half a star taken away for predictability, and another half taken away for the ending I really couldn't buy into.
Right, but aren't you doing it out of 5?
Yeah,
so there's still half a star there, so therefore it'd be 4.
I don't give movies 5 stars. I save that extra half a star for something really special.
Right, so it's still technically 4. Because you've only taken away 2 half stars. So you gave it a 4.
Jesus Christ.
You gave the movie a 4.
Maybe. Who knows?
Right.
Who knows? No. I think... Well, Nathan wanted to cover Invisible Man there, so...
Yeah.
That is a movie I give 4.5 stars.
Oh, yeah.
So what was your problem with it?
I don't have a problem with that.
So what was your problem with it? You gave it 4.5 stars.
My problem was there was a few pacing issues. That was about it.
Are you mad? Are you mad? Pacing issues.
Yeah, there was a wee bit in the middle where I just felt it started dragging a wee bit.
Where?
And I was like, okay, and then it eventually picked up again.
So the only issue you had is a few pacing.
Yeah.
Things. Okay, so out of 100, where would you give it?
Out of 100. Out of 100.
He's trying to calculate this. What's 4.5 and 5? What percentage is that?
90. 90.
What
90.
What are those 10 points that you took away from it?
Well, from 9 to 9.5, it was simple. In the middle, it started dragging a wee bit, and I started feeling time. I basically started looking at the time to see, because the movie's not even that long. But there was a bit of...
That's how I felt in the middle of Endgame.
So, yeah, Aaron, realistically, then you've given it 95%. 95 out of 100, because you can't just say that I'm taking away 5 just because no movie ever gets 100. No, you take it away from 100.
You work your way down.
Yeah,
because there's always room for improvement. That's basically why.
But that you don't take that. Like you take it away from, let's say, a full 5 star, and then you're like, right, so half a star for
Let's not argue about my rating system. It's how I do things.
Your rating system is inconsistent and garbage.
Yeah,
It is.
It is very inconsistent.
It's like, oh, I took half a star away. It's 4 stars. It's like, so where's the rest?
So-
there's always room for
Honestly,
improvement.
Yeah,
how
so
I
it's
put
like,
it is-
it's,
Alright.
wait.
I feel like
You
if I
might as
give
well.
it 5 stars. I feel like I gave it too much.
No. You would never
Don't
give it 5 stars.
It's shit.
Yeah, but
Like,
you'd
why
never
do
give
you
it
use
100%, like, or 100, like, out of 100. Every time you've got to criticize a movie, that's when you take points away from 5 stars. Or from 100. So realistically, you would be, like, your point system would be out of 4.5 for every movie.
Maybe. But yeah, 4.5 I give this.
See, he's
Simply
not.
because it dragged in the middle.
I disagree. I feel like, and I know the middle bit, what you're talking about. I feel like if the middle wasn't dragged out enough, it wouldn't seem like it was being done over a certain period of time.
You can do passage of time correctly without it feeling
They did.
dragged
No,
out.
they did. For me, they did. It was fine. I felt like it was, let's say, for example, 2 months down the line. Do you know what I mean? I felt like that. It didn't drag out. It didn't feel it didn't drag out for me. I felt like if they had done it any quicker, I wouldn't have felt like it fit.
Should stop here about this movie then, because you're leaning into just spoiling things.
No, I'm not.
All I can say is it's super, super intense.
Yes.
Super intense.
Yes. So like
It's
No,
super
what I've
intense.
gathered is it drags
get
on for
invested
2
in-
months.
it doesn't.
It's really intense.
No. That 2 months was literally an example. That's not like, and it doesn't drag on for 2 months. But what I'm saying is, let's say for example,
maybe
in the
one of-
movie, if 2 months passed, it did feel like that, but there was still action and things going on to cover that time. But it made it feel like it was that amount of time. So to me, it fit right. The movie length was perfect. It didn't feel like it was dragging. It had me on the edge of my seat every time. Like, anytime you knew something was coming, like, I was there, like kind of like looking like, what's going on? What's going to happen next kind of thing. Like, it didn't feel like it dragged.
Well, fair enough. And there was another wee thing, like I just remembered there. In the movie, there's a simple panning shot where the camera starts and it just starts panning around. They use that shot maybe one too many times, where it just started as like, because you really shouldn't be thinking about this. They're using the same kind of shot over and over again. Like, so that was a noticeable thing that sort of took me out of it a wee bit, where I just started, instead of being invested in the movie, I started thinking, okay, there they go using that shot again. Okay, fair enough. But I did think the movie was fairly intense. The main character, you can get invested in her story. It's very, 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 very well acted.
Yeah, the acting for that character was well done. I'll agree with that. But what I won't agree with is that panning shot either. I never thought of that. Like, it never came. Like, it was never a thought in my head. When they did do it, I know what scene you're specifically talking about. We can talk. We can talk about it because we can talk about this scene because it's not a major point, but it's the one when she's in the bedroom.
Yeah, they used it 3 minutes into the movie. I think they used that panning shot 4 times throughout the movie. The first 2 times, I thought, okay, that's great. That's adding some tension. The third time, I felt like, I think they're doing that a little too much. I think they're relying on that kind of shot a bit much here. And then I think they did it again.
But that's like saying,
can't remember.
But it's like saying, right, that's like going, every time, Alex, they cut to a different scene, man. I was just like, they're using that shot every goddamn time. No, do you know what I mean? Like, it's no. Like, how I feel is they used it in the first like opening scene, right? I'm nearly sure it was the opening scene to it. They used
they used it in the opening scene.
Yeah, and that kind of signified, because did something weird happen?
No, they did it for no reason. It was just there to make you paranoid about something happening.
Yeah. So it was there to give, right? Okay, so I feel because
they did it to get into your head.
Yeah. So I feel like because they done it to get into your head, that every other time that they do it in the movie, then it was to get into your head. But if they did use it 3 or 4 times,
I suppose if you think about them using that shot to stick with a particular theme, I suppose you can think about it that way. But I just, for me, it didn't work because I noticed it. I noticed that they were recycling that same. Well, they weren't recycling the same shot, but they were using the same technique over and over again, relying on it to add tension.
No, I like, it's not that I didn't acknowledge it or didn't notice it or that it was put in there well that I couldn't see it happening. I seen it happening. I remember when it happened in certain scenes. Totally understand that. But I feel like in that moment when you seen that happening, you were like, something's going fucking down. Someone's getting killed. Where is he? And you were like looking at the screen to be like, can I see him, like, kind of thing. And it was like, that was me anyway. I was like kind of like squinting anytime it done that. It done that like pan. Like I was looking to try and spot him and try and see if like they didn't edit it properly or something, you know, and just maybe catch a glimpse of him. But no, to me, I just was like, every time they used that pan, it was like, right, something is about to go down.
Yeah, and like I'm not saying they weren't done badly. I'm saying, like, the shot was done really well, but it was just noticeable that they were using that shot, and it took me out of it. Yeah. So like, it just stopped me from thinking about what was going on and started making me think about them using that shot. Like, I shouldn't be thinking about the technical aspects of this movie as I'm invested in it. So that is, it took me out of it in that area. But there was a lot of really, really cool camera shots in this movie. Like, it was a really, really cool camera shot, and they had a one-shot sequence that I thought was pretty fucking cool as well. I'm a sucker for one-shot sequences, especially when they don't use them, because there's only one-shot sequence in this entire movie, and it's fucking great. It's damn great.
Which part is it?
It's a scene near the end, I think. It's a fight scene. Anyway,
is it the one in the hall?
Yeah.
Not the hall of a house. Not the hall of a house, but a different hall.
No, yeah, it's a different hall.
Yeah,
it's funny because the Daredevil sort of set the standard for the one-shot hallway sequence.
Yeah,
they build on that in this movie, and they add to some of the best hallway one-shot sequences. It's pretty good. But yeah, Invisible Man is probably my favorite movie of the year so far, for sure.
I would find it hard to pick between Invisible Man and Extraction, just because they're two different movies.
That's an easy pick for me.
They're two different movies.
A lot of twists as well. I didn't see coming.
There was like, they're two different movies, but each of them or both of them, sorry, have their own different like effect on me. So like, Extraction's got that like heartwarming effect. Like, I was kind of like, yeah, like, that was really nice kind of thing, and An Invisible Man, for me, was a movie that was well put together. Like, really, really well put together, from start to end. Like, there was, like, how do I explain it without going into it?
It's hard.
So the end of it is so, like, it's so good. It's so good. And you just feel like you've completed such a big achievement in your life when watching it. Is that the right way to put it? Like, it satisfies you. It satisfies you so much. That's it. That's what I'm trying to say.
There's just one really horrifying scene in the movie, and it made me feel sick to my stomach. It was horrifying, not because it was gory or anything, just because it was so shocking and I didn't see it coming. And I felt what the main character was feeling, and
Can we?
it shook. As the young ones say today, it shook me. I was shook to my core.
Is it
was
without obviously we're not going to go into it because Alex would definitely recommend this movie and Extraction out of the whole list. But
definitely check them out.
In talking about that scene that shocked you, am I right in saying that it is the meal scene? Yes, that is a very good scene. That is spot on.
that was so good.
Yeah,
so
it
good.
was really, really good. I'll
Alex, with everything me and Nathan just said there, I have to ask you: are you sold on seeing this movie based off what me and Nathan were saying there, and seeing how excited Nathan just got? well, realizing what scene I was talking about there.
Yeah, I creamed myself.
Yeah, we saw. It was quite disturbing. Better put that out there.
Sorry, it's under the table.
Yeah, sort of, I guess. Bumps it up in the list. Over some rewatches.
Over some rewatches. What are you rewatching?
Yeah, that's a question. What are you rewatching, Alex?
I'm rewatching all of Supernatural.
Oh, okay.
Supernatural. Oh. Well, that's
good. I'm in season 8, which is where it goes downhill again.
I think I stopped at season 6.
See, that's where it just went to shit.
Yeah, I stopped at season 6.
Alex,
isn't that the season?
At that point, 2 actors just carry the entire show for the next 5 seasons.
Yeah,
and
that's
it's still all right.
Yes, they're really good. But let me just season 6, isn't that where the guy what's his face? Like with the square head comes in? He's like the angel.
No, that's a lot earlier.
Which?
Castiel, that's a lot earlier.
Yeah. Oh, earlier.
Season 6 is fuck, what is he? Oh. Fuck, I forgot. Season 5 is the entire Lucifer thing. Season 6.
It must.
Season 7 starts with the Purgatory. That's where it literally goes to shit. It's just random garbage after that. I don't know what.
Because
season 8 is God's sister or whatever the fuck.
Okay.
Or season 7. It's just, I don't know. They ran out of things to do.
Yeah, so
and they're just running the show because ratings are high because Misha Collins and everyone else is just so good in it.
Yeah.
I have to ask because I haven't watched Supernatural, but Jeffrey Dean Morgan is in Supernatural, isn't he?
Yes, he's brilliant.
Yeah.
He is brilliant.
I find it funny that he's now in two shows.
He's only in the first 2 seasons, probably, but he is brilliant.
Yeah, because I find it funny he is a part of 2 shows that have run past their expiration date.
Well, he's not really anymore. He was in the beginning when it was good.
Yeah.
Now he carries a shit show.
Well, the show's fantastic now, in my opinion.
Not what I've heard. I've heard it's just been carried on his back for a while now.
I wouldn't necessarily say that, but he's definitely part of the
I never got
so
past season 2. I just got bored in season 2. I don't know.
What's this?
Well, because
Walking Dead.
It peaked in popularity in season 5. In the season 5 premiere, that is when they had their most viewers.
Problem is, it has to hook me before that.
Yeah.
I'm not dredging through 3 seasons of garbage to get a good season.
No.
Like, I'm sorry.
Yeah. I will say the Negan.
If the first season was bad and the rest were good, yeah, I'd watch it. But season 2, I just got so bored.
I didn't know we moved over to TV shows. That's all I'm saying.
Stupid farmhouse, and it just dragged on, and I just quit.
I didn't know we moved on to TV shows at the minute. You know.
Oh, we're not moving on to TV. We have one more topic we have to talk about.
But I was just gonna say, I don't think we should talk much about this movie.
We are a free-flowing show. We are not chained down by
definitely not.
Definitely a notepad file.
We don't have episode topics whatsoever.
No, definitely.
But
no, we don't.
This next movie that, or the last movie that's on the list anyway, that we've got. I'm just going to say this. I don't think we should talk about it that much. I think, Aaron, you should just give your quick opinion on it, give it its rating, and just leave it at that, because I've heard from yourself, Aaron, that it's a shocking movie.
Yes, I forgot about that.
I've
Capone.
heard. Yeah, so.
Capone. My fucking God. This movie is the biggest waste of time you could ever have in your life. It is so ridiculously bad. There is absolutely no reason this movie should have been made. It is shamelessly horrible.
We're not even going to get into the story, because like, if it's that bad,
and we're not going to get into the story. It's just basically
in the end,
Al Capone in his last few months.
The subtext of the movie is like he tried, but like even he couldn't carry the movie. It's like, was that bad?
Basically, it's Al Capone in his last few months with dementia. I'm not even gonna bother worrying about spoilers. I'm just gonna fucking tell you exactly what the fuck happens in this movie. There's money Al Capone hid before he got sick. There's FBI looking for this money now that he is sick, trying to get it from him before he doesn't know where it is anymore. And that's the big plot tease through this movie, but they don't see it through. There's no point to that plot hole. There's no point to that plot at all, because they don't see it through, and they don't even see the movie through to his death. They have this wee side story with a son, one of Al Capone's sons, off avoiding him, and in the end they reunite in the most emotionless scene you could ever fucking have. Its movie is atrocious. I gave it, what did I fucking give it?
What was he like? Sup, Dad? Sup, son? See ya.
They didn't even talk to each other. The son just sat down beside him. Fucking Al Capone just off his head, looking off into the distance. Like his son fucking holds his hand, and Tom Hardy just opens his eyes a wee bit wider, and is like, okay, we're supposed to feel something there, but no. I give this movie a 1.5 stars just for Tom Hardy. I just give a 1.5 stars for Tom Hardy's performance, because Tom Hardy was full on convincing. Like, he was fantastic in this movie, but Tom Hardy is not worth. Like, even if you're a Tom Hardy fan, I don't think it's worth your time to watch this movie. Right. Unless you're in love with him and you want to see him pretend to die for 104 minutes. Right. It's just so bad. It's so bad.
All right, and on that note,
that's a good shit.
On that note, Alex, what have you got for us next?
Yeah, we've got a big topic next.
Really?
Probably not talk about it too long though.
No.
What's this big topic?
Well, it's right under the movie section. It's the last thing on the movie section.
Well, I have no idea what this is, so.
Well, I thought you had this topic.
I'm surprised Alex does not know about this. No? Well, I'm actually not surprised.
I am not reading any news, like.
What? To be fair. Oh no, yes, but you can still introduce the topic. Come on.
By the way, Snyder's doing something.
By the way, guys, before you are like, what are they even talking about? Basically, every episode we have somebody else introduce the things, and we're going to change it every week. I know we haven't mentioned this, and it probably seems odd that every episode we do, somebody else is doing it. But yeah, it was once me, it was our anonymous guy, once. It was Aaron once, and now it's Alex's turn. So comment down in the comment section below on how well Alex has done so far. Yeah.
I'll give myself
not well.
Minus a 1.5 stars.
-5. So yeah, come on. You can only you can only get better. You can only get better. Come on.
What is it?
You got this.
Next topic.
Are you challenging me?
Introduce this topic that you have no idea what it is.
I have no idea. Snyder's cutting somebody into pieces, apparently. So go ahead, and take this away. You're the expert on this garbage.
No, that is true.
There is a cut. It does involve Snyder. What?
The SnyderCut. The SnyderCut is coming. For the last 3 years, since the first Justice League movie came out, it's been
their first Justice League movie. You mean
it's been known that during the production of Justice League, Zack Snyder's daughter committed suicide, so he had to leave. And basically the studio weren't happy with a lot of the movie, so they brought in Joss Whedon, director of The Avengers, to finish the movie. And basically what we seen in 2017 in the Justice League movie was we only seen 10% of what Zack Snyder did. Everything else was Joss Whedon.
That's why I gave it 1 star out of 10.
Yeah.
So basically there's a whole other 90% of content from Zack Snyder we have not seen. And for the past 3 years, people have been hashtagging on Twitter, release the Snyder Cut. They've been hashtagging it everywhere, across all social media platforms, everywhere. And there was even an ad put up in Times Square, New York, on a big screen saying, hashtag release the Snyder Cut. So after 3 years of fans hammering this hashtag out, HBO have answered their prayers and will be releasing the Justice League's Zack Snyder's Justice League on HBO Max in 2021. That it hasn't been decided yet if it's going to be a full 4-hour cut movie, a full 4-hour movie, or a 4-part miniseries.
I think
they're still deciding.
Maybe it'll make the Justice League watchable. So
I think
we'll hope for the best.
I think it should be a full 4-hour movie because, as I've said it before, I've got 4 hours out of 52 weeks of the year to watch it. So it should be.
I ain't watching an extended fucking edition of Lord of the Rings. Like, this is the 4 hours is nothing.
Yeah, so like honestly, I just think they should do 4 hours. Yeah. Sorry for interrupting there.
It's basically supposed to be an almost completely different movie. So I am very intrigued to see it. And whether or not it's a miniseries or a full 4-hour movie, I don't care. I feel like it might be a little easier it would probably be easier to digest for the casual HBO Max subscriber if it was a miniseries. But for the full hardcore hashtag release the Snyder Cut super fans,
it's a miniseries. You're gonna watch it in one sitting anyway. So
but the thing is, right? If it does, right? For example, if they cut a movie into a miniseries, right? All I'm going to do is get these miniseries, pop them together, and then watch it. I am not watching this as not a movie because of the fact that it's Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Flash, Cyborg, Aquaman, all of these. The one that was released is a movie. This would have been released as a movie if, unfortunately, Zack Snyder's daughter didn't.
I don't think it would have been. Like, they probably would have gotten Snack to do some serious reshoots. But even at that, a lot of his work would still be in it. A lot more than what was in it at the minute, because he would have fought for his own work, as every director should do. Instead of bending over, fight for your own work if you believe in it. And so this is what we're going to see. We're going to see if it's a better cut or a better version of the Justice League that we got, which isn't going to be too hard, because apparently they're doing reshoots. So that first terrible CGI scene of the mustache is going to be gone, hopefully. Now, they haven't said that that's going to be a scene that they're reshooting, but I don't think, have they? No. Nobody knows what they're reshooting. They just know they're reshooting scenes. So hopefully that CGI is either touched up and made a hell of a lot better, or they just reshoot the whole scene with him wearing the suit and basically do the whole thing again. Which... Well, from what I've heard, we're probably going to get some Superman in his black suit. We're going to have a different villain, not in the vein of Steppenwolf, who's probably the worst CGI villain I've ever seen on the big screen ever. We'll probably be getting a bit of Darkseid, who's basically DC's version of Thanos, but I think he came before Thanos, so I'd say Thanos is more a Marvel version of Darkseid, maybe. But anyway, he's supposed to be in the Snyder Cut. Whether or not that's true, I do not know, but that's what I have heard. And if they do reshoots, I really, 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 really hope to have Cavill come in, reshoot some scenes, because he wasn't even in that many scenes altogether. So I'd really love it if he came in to do some reshoots for those scenes he was in, so we do not have to see that horrendous stash removal. Because the opening 30 to 40 seconds of Justice League are a prime example of how to kill your movie in 30 seconds. That is how you kill it, because that CGI stash removal in that phone clip of a kid was just so bad.
It was amazing. Like, just don't put the head in it. Like, just cut the head out.
Yeah.
Like, just don't. Like, why even have it? Just make it a fucking shitty, shaky cam video. We could talk.
That would have been great.
It would have been brilliant.
It's a kid filming it. It's a kid filming it. He could be nervous. He'd be like, "Oh my god, it's Superman!"
The camera on longer doesn't realize he's not filming his face. It's like, who cares? Oh my god. But they had the fucking face like that.
But what I would say, right, is like the reason why we got that terrible mustache scene.
A turbo mustache.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say that because, and I'll get to it. Is because
did you say terrible? Did you say terrible mustache or turbo mustache?
Terrible.
All right, I thought I said turbo. I was like, what, turbo?
No, terrible. Terrible mustache scene, right?
Turbo smooth mustache, maybe.
It's because no. Let me finish. It's because he needed the mustache for Impossible, for Mission Impossible. And so, if Mission Impossible wasn't going ahead, we wouldn't have had that ugly goddamn scene. Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, I have a gripe with the Mission Impossible producers. Why could they not have just gotten Cavill to put on a fake stash? Like, they can convincingly do that.
Why does he have to have a stash?
Why would they have to?
Why does he have to have a stash?
Why would they have to put on a fake mustache just because the guys doing the fucking Superman movie can't do their job right the first time?
What do you mean? The first time would be either natural mustache or no mustache. So like that's the first time. Not let's CGI a mustache he needs for another movie. Like he was Superman first. Yeah. That's how I look at it. But like I have been like, no, you either put out my character without a mustache, or well, I'm sorry, I'm not going to be able to do it. If I have to change anything like this, I won't be able to do it. And I feel like Cavill was still in his contract with Superman, wasn't he? With DC, not or yeah.
Well, he had signed a contract with I think Paramount do Mission Impossible franchise. I think. Well, he had a contract with them to keep the stash. I don't know why. Well, it was in the contract because continuity and all that. I don't know why it was.
But my thing would be
why they couldn't have.
My thing would be, why did he sign that? And if so, did he not breach the contract then for Superman? Because I'm nearly sure when you are contracted for a certain character, for let it be a movie, TV show, or anything like that, you're on strict diet plans, strict like getting your hair cut and stuff like that. Like it's all got to be for this period. You've got.
Are they not finished with it though?
No, because they were shooting at the same time.
They're shooting at the same time. It was sort of back and forth. I can see where you're coming from there, Nathan, but like, I don't think that have it in the Superman contract too. If you grow out a mustache, do not shave it. But if you grow out a mustache, you have to shave it off.
No. It's not that. Yeah, it wouldn't be that. But what I'm saying is, he would have to look like how he looked in the first Superman, which is he'd have to have his muscle. He would have to be like that. He would have to, because he couldn't after Man of Steel, right? He couldn't go away and lose a 45 pound in muscle and just come back and do Batman versus Superman, a skinny lanky piece of shit. Do you know what I mean? He would have been in breach of a contract there. You know, they hired him for his physical.
You can't say that because you don't know what was in the contract.
Well, yeah, which was in the contract. No, but I'm going off. I'm just saying this because I'm nearly sure a lot of contracts have it, and I'm very, very, very.
Have you seen a movie contract before, Nathan?
No. But I know from like The Flash and everything like that. Like they've done interviews on like their diets and stuff like that, and what they've been told by, Grant
Gustin doesn't have all that many other opportunities these days, does he?
Well, no, nobody does because they're stuck inside in lockdown. But what I'm saying is,
back then,
they were he does now, yeah. But they were talking about their diet and stuff like that, and what they, and even the Stranger Things cast and stuff like that were talking about it, that they gotta mind what they eat and how they cut their hair and stuff like that as well. Like, so it is in a lot of places, and what I'm trying to say is, like, I'm really surprised it didn't have it in the contract that he had to keep his look for that character for the period of the contract. And if so, did he breach the contract, changing that up and coming to play the character Superman with a mustache, and then making the director and the directors and whoever was doing the CGI for the film CGI it out? I want to know, was there a part of the contract that stated that he needed to look like how he did for the first one?
I suppose, honestly, I couldn't. There's really no way to know. But really, the only sense I can make out of it is that he signed the Mission Impossible contract before the Justice League contract, and that's the only sense I can make out of it. There's really no other way to think about it other than that.
I'd be thinking about it like that, but I'd also be thinking, like, didn't he not sign for like 5 Superman movies or something like that? Not individual Superman movies, but like to play Superman in 5 movies.
I don't know. I've never looked into that.
Because if so, he'd have been in the contract. Maybe it was 3, maybe it was 2. Who knows? I'm not too sure. But I mean, I'm just saying it's if, like, there's all these variables. Like if he was signed for 5 movies, or if he was signed for 3 or 2, who knows what it was, we don't know. But I'd really like to take a look at the contract and see, because again, it comes down to, if it was in the contract, he breached that contract to do Mission Impossible, or he broke that contract to do Mission Impossible and to grow the mustache and everything like that, which technically isn't really fair, because he should have been true to the Superman character then, if it's in it. And if it's not in it, then fair fucks. Do whatever you want then, you know? But
no, because it's funny, because back on the topic of the Snyder cut, because over the past few years there's been fans fully convinced that there was a finished, complete, ready to be released version of the Zack Snyder movie, and like, they've been rallying against people that with a bit of common sense, that there was not a fully done. There was bits and pieces of unfinished footage Zack Snyder had in some place somewhere that hadn't been put together. There had been no finished special effects. But when the news came out that they were doing it, like, it was announced that HBO are giving Zack 20 to 30 million to finish the movie and get all the special effects done and everything, all that there. And there was some people wondering whether or not they'd release it on HBO Max without any special effects done, just thrown together, unfinished movie. But I think if they're going to release it, it would be wise to finish it. And I can see why Zack Snyder, if he'd want to show his work to the world, he'd probably want it to be finished, like most creators. But I can't say I'm excited about it, but I am intrigued. I probably will watch it.
I'll say I'm excited about it because of the fact that it can only be better than what we've seen. And the Justice League was terrible. It was.
And a lot of people hated Man of Steel. I, for one, loved Man of Steel. I thought it was great, minus the destruction of the city, which I kind of fell out of line with Superman's, unless he was just having full-on rage fit because your man touched his mom. You know, if you're gonna hurt somebody's mom, you better be prepared to get your ass thrown into a bunch of buildings.
Well, yeah, like that.
So,
you know,
yeah.
that's like I know Superman. Like he's got this thing where it's like got to protect everyone, no matter who they are, and not put
Yeah.
people in harm's way and stuff like that. But at the same time, he's got a bit of human aspect to him because of the fact he's been there all his life.
Yeah, that's
You
true.
know, he's gonna have these feelings. He's gonna feel this rage whenever somebody touches his mother. Do you know what I mean? It's like it doesn't really matter who you are. You would possibly, if you were in Superman's situation in Man of Steel, you would possibly act the same.
Yeah, but a lot of people wanted Superman to be the full, true, pure American hero that they had seen in the older Superman movies, and the Superman Returns movie we seen like 2006, something like that. There, whenever the fuck that came out. But they wanted to see that in Man of Steel. But I think the version of Superman we got in Man of Steel was the version that made more sense to get, because he's not going to be that version of Superman right as he just becomes Superman. Like that's going to take some,
Yeah, that's gonna take years. That's kind of oldish.
point.
That's kind of oldish man Superman. You
yeah,
know,
but
it's kind of 45-year-old Superman.
yeah,
Even though he wouldn't
And,
really age. Like I don't think he ages like humans.
well, I don't
So
think that's
be-
ever really been explored. Like I'd say the comic book fans will know all that,
Yeah.
how he ages and whatnot. But Zack Snyder, I think he did a fantastic job with Man of Steel and Batman vs Superman. Even though I didn't think the theatrical version was all that bad, I can recognize the flaws. But the ultimate edition that was released, the 3-hour version of Batman vs Superman, I think was much better. Yeah, I enjoyed it. And so I have faith that Zack Snyder can deliver on this cut of whatever the fuck it is. But I'm definitely intrigued.
Alex, there's
Definitely not excited.
There's one thing I want to touch on. I remember me and you had this conversation about like DC and Marvel movies, and about like you just want like a standalone movie, not for it to be storyline and stuff like that. Do you remember? Yeah. Well, I recently I've been thinking about that, and I've been thinking about Justice League and Justice League movie, and just you saying that you want standalone DC movies and stuff like that, and that it would work and things. I'm kind of with you now, but only based on the fact that Justice League flopped because they threw in too many characters and didn't have proper backstories for them. How I feel about how they would have how it would succeed would be if they had a Flash movie, a Cyborg movie, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, Batman, Superman, individual movies, built up their characters over 2 or 3 movies, and then threw them in and had a 3.5-hour movie, but none of their storylines touch. But they're all in the same city. They know about each other. They've heard about each other. But then you throw them in, again, this one thing, or whatever it may be. And I think that would work. But the way they've done it is just shitty, some shitty storyline movies for... It wasn't really storyline, for Batman. Because they just threw Batman in Batman vs Superman, didn't they? Like, there was no Batman movie with Ben Affleck before that.
No.
Yeah, so it was just that. And because of them recasting the character, never felt anything to that character then when I watched the movie. I just knew of these characters. Whereas I felt something towards Man of Steel, and I was rooting for... Or Man of Steel, Superman, sorry. Because of Man of Steel. Like, I felt something there. Because I've watched the movie, I've delved into the character himself. Like there was
an excitement there.
There was build up of his character, so I kind of felt something towards that character because of that. When you just throw characters into a movie and it's only like 2.5 hours or nearly touching 3 hours, there's not a lot of time there to character build. there might be somebody out there that could possibly do it. I'm not too sure, but I just think if you're throwing 5 characters in, two of these characters haven't touched we haven't touched on any of their storyline whatsoever. I just feel like I'm not gonna feel invested into the character. But I feel like the way that they could possibly do it is to include Man of Steel as Superman's first movie. But now they realistically they can't really go back any further. They're gonna have to recast every role, which they have done for Batman. So they possibly are gonna do it for Superman and everybody else. Which all I'm saying now is if they get rid of Henry Cavill, I don't think I'll be watching Superman. Like he is. To me, he's the perfect Superman. For my generation anyway. And I just feel like if they got rid of him, that it'd be a no-go. I wouldn't watch it. But have a second.
What are you asking, Alex?
Have a second. No. So I'm just saying. So I feel like they should have this Batman movie that's coming out. They should have a second Man of Steel movie, building on Superman's character a little bit more. Just kind of forget Justice League and stuff like that. Have individual movies. So Wonder Woman's coming out with a movie as well. We've seen a trailer for that, or 2 trailers for that. But don't acknowledge anybody. Like it's a bit too late now to be like, oh, we can't acknowledge like Batman and Superman and all that now. Because we haven't seen the movie, but they've already like more or less finished the movie, haven't they? The Wonder Woman movie.
Yeah, it's finished. It was supposed to be out. It's supposed to be out. It was supposed to be out in July, I think.
All right. Yeah, so it's probably too late now to be like, oh, don't mention like Batman and Superman and all them other characters within that. Like, but just have your second Wonder Woman movie, your new Batman movie, your second Superman movie. Have a Cyborg movie. Have a second. I was about to say Ant-Man movie there. Aquaman movie. Have your Cyborg movie. Have 2 of them maybe for Flash and Cyborg. Build up them characters and then throw them in. And have a 3.5 hour movie of them just full on trying to fight. Now, obviously, they're not going to meet at the very beginning, but it'll be like 45 minutes in maybe or whatever. And then, or an hour in, and they've eventually all met. But like, have them coming from different like areas to like fight whatever bad guy this is that they like Darkseid or whatever it may be, because apparently he like takes over planets. They're not all from the same place. They are kind of a bit like close to each other. Like Aquaman's from underwater, Aaron, so I don't know what you're sitting there with confusion. But like, you know, Aquaman's not living in Gotham. All right, so you see where I'm going. You see where I'm going. So like, there will be
where you're going.
There'll be different sides, and just like build up on that, and then just eventually have them meet to like a certain point where they then go again Darkseid or whatever. Yeah, I think it would work like that, and that would be your individual movie without having to have build up to that movie, like what Marvel done.
It's how they should have done it. It's how they should do it, but it's not what they're gonna do.
No, it's not, because they're fucking idiots. But also everybody knows about them. Like everybody, like they want to do it a way that people don't like not know about, but think they would do it. Just so it's more of a shock and it adds that like shock factor. But the reality of it is if you don't do it like that and you just fucking shoehorn everybody into a movie, nobody will feel invested whatsoever. Like, plan it out. Do what Marvel done. Plan it out. You don't have to have all their movies connect, but you can eventually put them all into one movie where everybody will feel invested into them characters. People will pick their more favorite characters with having 2 or 3 singular movies of them characters. But when you throw them in after having 2 or 3 like of their own movies, people will then feel invested into these characters, and when you kill one off, people will then be like, hopefully anyway, what happened with Iron Man.
Yeah. Well, Alex, I have to ask you, on a scale
Issue
of
with
1
this
to
entire
10,
thing.
What?
how many fucks could you
The
give?
entire
the
the
total?
entire problem here is like all you're asking for is just solve. It's like just make it a TV series.
No, I'm not.
Like the
I'm
problem
not.
here is you want 15 movies introducing characters and then a finale.
I don't want 15 movies introducing characters.
Like
I
the
want.
issue is
I
you're
want.
you. It's
I
like,
want. We've
the
all.
comic books do this. They
He's
have
exaggerating
one,
the point, Nathan, but
they
he
have one
does have the
serialized.
same
They have
point.
one serialized series that is Justice League, and then they have random shit like the Killing Joke isn't really connected to anything solidly, and it still
No, I
works
don't
as a
think.
standalone comic. Have you read the Killing Joke?
Me? No.
You should read it. It's great.
It's a movie as well, so there's that.
It's an animated movie, yes. To read the comic, and it works separately. You don't need 12 build-up movies for the Joker and Batman. Like,
No, you don't. But what I will say is, you build up you invest differently into characters you read about than characters you watch.
well, then you're watching shit movies if you can't invest in them.
Yes, that's what we were watching. Justice League, complete shit. That's why I was saying it was shit.
Yes, it was shit. I'm not arguing that it's a good movie.
No. I know. But that's what I'm saying. Like, that's
I just don't want the idea. It's like you need backstory movies for every character.
No.
You
don't.
get attached to them.
No. You don't have to have backstory.
You can't do a 3-hour Justice League movie, but you have to do it well.
Yes, but see, your thing is there, right? Like, right. How do you do it well? You need to have character building so that you feel invested into the characters. If you don't feel invested into the character, it's not going to work. You as the viewer will just think that it was a shit movie. It won't have such an impact on you like Endgame did have. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're eventually going to have to do kind of storyline movies based on every character to kind of build up that character so you get invested. Let it be in a 3.5-hour movie, you're still doing it either way. But what I'm saying is, you do like 1 or 2 movies of every character.
To introduce a character.
No, but if you've got 5 characters, they've all got 1 or 2 movies each. We've already got Man of Steel out. We've already got first Wonder Woman movie out, so that's already out. Second one's coming out, so that's her 2 done. They've recasted the Batman. Its movie will be coming out. He'll then
Yeah,
get.
well, that's going to be separate.
No, yeah, whatever. But like, let's say for example they use that one, right? So that would be his first movie. Then you would have another one come out after that, or maybe don't have another one. Maybe just have one Batman one, but do a really good build, like build him up. Don't do an origin story of any of the characters, or maybe do an origin story of some characters, but try and keep it. What's the word? Like try and keep the movies seem like they're on the same timeline, if you get me, or in the same kind of era. Is that the right word? Like that they're not years and years apart. But like have maybe one movie for a character, but not an origin one. Like you don't have to have origin movies, but you can have, like, for example, a Batman movie that's not an origin movie on how he becomes Batman, but still build up that character in that movie. Like that, I'm not saying you gotta have 10. So you'd pick 5 characters for Justice League. I'm not saying you have to have 10 origin movie origin movie stories, or sorry, 5 origin movie stories, and then sequels.
Thing is, in DC, I think the animated movies are much better than the actual movies.
Yeah, but I don't watch them. I don't watch that. I'm not watching cartoons, man. Fuck off.
There are people that are like that. I'm like that similarly, kind of.
I give up to
They
watching.
do storytelling characters like 100 times better than these recent DC movies. These are trash, like.
Because,
like, what was it? The Flashpoint paradox.
Yeah, but it's like the characters.
Batman, Superman, the Flash in it, and it's a separate thing.
Yeah, but see, the thing is, with that, you don't go in with the expectation of you want to feel like they're your friend kind of thing, if you get me. Like, I don't know how to.
What do you mean? So what expectation
so, like,
do you go into a movie with?
So let's say for a cartoon,
Why is it different?
Like if I was watching a cartoon
to a cartoon than a movie.
To me, I see it as more childish. a cartoon.
Right, I'll give you a fucking cartoon that's childish.
But I never watch any cartoons. Like,
well,
I don't watch.
Then why are you saying all cartoons are childish?
No. But what I'm saying is, I represent
all
cartoons
superhero
as being
movies are just for
childish.
children. Then.
Well, yeah,
They're
a
from
lot of them are.
cartoons,
Yeah.
All of them are.
Yeah, no, but I grew up watching. Like, I grew up watching them. I never watched cartoons. I grew up watching their movies. No?
But you've never seen a single episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! In your life.
Okay, right.
You're
You have
lying.
me there.
Yeah,
you have me there.
There you go. There's
Yeah.
the
Never seen a
realization.
single episode.
Okay, right.
A single cartoon in your life.
Okay.
You're lying through your teeth.
Sorry. Yu-Gi-Oh! Just went. Yu-Gi-Oh! Was cool back in the day.
There you go. I don't like cartoons.
No.
Right, let me watch Yu-Gi-Oh! now.
Actually, in fact,
I can get where you're coming from, Nathan, because like I watched Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! Growing up, but for some reason these days I'm not fond of anime style anime cartoons. I just don't like the art style for some reason anymore. Like I used to love
many
but
different
I
art
just-
styles for many different animated.
but I just don't think. I don't know. I represent cartoons with like kids, like that's for kids. I'm now
Like,
an
for
adult.
example-
I watch. I can actually process the words that these actors are saying in this movie, and not this cartoon TV show where they're using simplistic, grammar, like that kids would understand. Like, right.
Okay, so you're comparing all cartoons to a shit episode of Scooby-Doo there. What the fuck is that?
Yeah, that's what.
You're saying all
This-
cartoons are
Scooby-Doo,
Give me a
yeah.
fucking-
Scooby-Doo,
shit Scooby-Doo episodes. Yeah, that's all cartoons.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, Nathan. Like
Right.
that animated.
That is complete garbage. That's like me saying all movies are fucking. Let's see, what's a shit children's movie? Give me a shit children's
Minions?
movie. Yeah, all movies are Minions.
Yeah. I don't even go to the
There you
cinema
go,
to watch
it's
Minions.
garbage, simplistic.
But I don't go to the cinema to watch Minions. I see Minions
It
as
does-
I see Minions as
Right.
again as a kids movie. If to me, if it feels like it's something for kids, I won't watch it. Right? Okay, you could argue that it's Iron Man and all this like.
It's a
for
kids'
kids,
movie.
but it's like.
Look, it's Iron Man.
But it's like it has that part in it where it's not for kids or like.
There are
Like no. I know they're not
many
swearing and stuff like that,
animated
but
movies
it's like
that are not for kids.
yeah, but
Yeah, like for example, the Killing Joke that Alex was on about there, like that.
Good
is
luck
not a kid's movie.
recommending that to kids when Joker walks in and
Yeah,
just bags
like,
someone's spine through.
all right, kids.
Yeah,
So
I
there's the
haven't
Killing
seen the
Joke.
movie,
If
but
you
I've
go and
seen
watch
clips.
that,
Not
Yeah,
kids.
what does he do to his daughter? Hi, crippled,
right? Okay.
having a laugh.
Yeah, and
It's
there's
like
a recent
kids'
Harley
movie.
Quinn TV show as well that is definitely not for kids. So there's that. But I think we should move on. Honestly,
All right. What
I
have you
think
got
we
for us
should move
next,
on to
Alex?
some TV shows.
All right. I didn't know you were the
some
lead
TVs.
for this episode.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I can't help myself.
Yeah.
I can't help. I'm a control freak. Leave me alone.
See, there's some things I don't give a shit about. There's
Yeah,
some
no,
things
so
I'm
don't-
very skeptical about and
Don't
very
talk about them.
cautious about.
Don't talk about them, or like it again. It's your episode. Pick out what you want to talk about on the list. They're just suggested topics. If you've got anything else that you've heard that went on in the world or heard that's happened from just on Twitter or anything like that, add on to it. Again, you can pick out what you want to like. There's
Westworld
upcoming
season
albums there that
4.
I don't give a fuck about, like as well. Do you know
Has
what I mean?
Westworld gone
Yeah.
to shit so fast? Apparently, it was the biggest shit.
It was really good. I watched first and second season.
Yeah.
I haven't watched the third one yet, but
No.
I've watched first and second.
I
I've got halfway through
finished the third
second.
season.
Right, don't talk
Apparently-
about
I
it. Don't
finished
talk
the
about
third
it.
season. I thought it was pretty good.
Okay.
Then,
But
but
season 4 was announced, even though the ratings are going down, because it peaked at 2 million and now they're getting less than 1 million viewers. So I don't know how season 4 is coming, considering how expensive it is, unless they're getting a lot more money from 700,000 viewers than than most other shows. But yeah,
it's kind of weird. Maybe someone just likes the show up there. They've cancelled shows for less.
Probably.
What else?
Like,
Mandalorian will have Boba Fett in the show.
Yeah, Boba Fett's coming.
Please, no. Just keep them away.
The same dude that voiced Jango Fett or did play Jango Fett in the prequels is coming back to voice Boba, and they have Ahsoka Tano coming from the Clone Wars animated series.
Why do you have to put her in everything? She's been in Rebels as well for no reason. I don't know why. It's like, just stop.
Yeah, she's
make a new character. Make a new character. You have to bring everybody back. It's like, why do you have to put in random ass fucking characters? Look what Palpatine did. Fucking Rise of Skywalker. Why is he there? Why?
I don't care that she's being cast, but like if you know,
I love Ahsoka. She's great in Clone Wars. She's brilliant. It's just stop.
Rosario Dawson is going to be playing her, so I'm happy that the casting.
We'll see.
But you'll recognize her face. Nathan, I don't know if you know who Ahsoka Tano is, do you?
I searched it up there. I've seen the character.
Yeah, she's Anakin Skywalker's apprentice.
Yeah, she's from Clone Wars. Clone Wars is so good. Last season, did you watch it yet?
I haven't watched any of the Clone Wars. I've been meaning to jump into it.
You have to. It's better than the recent trilogy, all of it.
Yeah, because I've been planning on watching it in chronological order because I heard it was recommended to watch it in that order. There are a bunch of non-essential episodes that you can skip.
Well, yes, but no. Like, don't skip them. Like, they're out of order. The episodes, yes. Some of them they're arced. Like, you have 3 episodes for Ashoka, then you have 2 episodes for some clone. The development on the fucking clone soldiers in the Clone Wars is brilliant. Some of them.
I've heard about that.
There's a squad in there. It's like they're brilliant, all of them. They actually developed very well. Better than.
Yeah, I've heard they make you really, really care about the clones. And,
I think they made that show made me care about a few clones more than I cared about the entire cast of the recent trilogy.
Sequel trilogy.
Yes.
I don't think that would be too hard. In all honesty.
No, it's like you watch one episode with the clones and you're like, yeah, I like them better than all of the new trilogy. Now.
It's funny, the most likable character in the sequel trilogy is the one that you're supposed to hate the most. Kylo.
You're pushing it there. He's meh.
Well, he was the most interesting to watch on screen for me.
Yeah, but he's meh.
Yeah, but anyway.
Even for that. Okay.
Anything else pop out to you there in the list of things?
Not really. I don't really give a shit about Undertaker or whatever you have put down.
Fair enough.
Don't.
I've never heard of that.
Like, some WWE thing, but you go over your head.
Is that WWE
thing? Wrestling, so
oh god,
there's a mini-series about his last 3 years and him like trying to retire and having retirement matches and being unhappy with them and then going back and it's.
If you can do a documentary, do about the fucking glory days.
Yes.
Not where you're on your way out tripping over the fucking door like. Anyway, that's.
They do cover his glory days, but yeah.
Nothing else on TV shows. Nothing. Is there anything out recently? Yeah, it's all garbage now.
Yeah,
all the everything. TV shows is going to shit.
It's stopped everything because of what's going on. It's mad.
I know.
Even the Flash has stopped.
I know.
I mean, the Flash has been shit for a while.
No, the Flash is pretty good this season.
Yeah, it was.
This season's pretty good, man. I have to say it is pretty good. But what I was going to say is the Flash, like, they stopped. Normally they do 23 episodes. they stopped it at 19 this year because of what's going on in the lockdown and everything, because they haven't got them pre-recorded or anything.
So they didn't finish production on them?
Nope, so they just ended at episode 19.
Not too bad.
Right.
Well, you gotta do what you gotta do.
What was their shooting schedule like that?
Like, they were
How many episodes are in a Flash season?
23.
23, so same as Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. now.
Possibly, I'm not too sure. But yeah, there's 23. Normally they stopped at or 22. They stopped at 19.
Alright, well, fair enough. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is coming back soon for its final season, which I think is the best comic book show on TV. Better than the Flash.
Hopefully it is a final season, because I never see TV shows end properly. They're just cut off. They're cut off at their legs when they fail.
Yeah.
And go to shit.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was supposed to be cancelled, but the producers from the higher ups had so much faith in it and thought it was so good that they had to give it a finale, and that's what they're doing. And I'm so fucking happy about it because the show is so fucking good. The writing is so.
I'm happy to see a show get a finale.
Yeah, don't think we've seen it. Don't think we've had a show. I don't think we've had a finale for a show in the past 10 years.
Yeah.
Sorry, in the past decade. I think it's just ended like, oh, it's gone. Bye bye.
It's been axed. Goodbye.
It's funny that show just ended and nobody talked about it anymore.
That's when you know it just went on for too long.
Which?
Game of Thrones.
Oh yeah. I didn't hear what you said.
I can't rewatch it anymore.
I can't go near it again.
I can't.
Like I watched it through once. Fine, I enjoyed a solid 7.5 seasons.
I rewatched it like 5 times before season 8.
And I was so excited to rewatch it again.
But it's the disappointment that you know that's gonna happen in season 8, and it's just like, I don't want to go through that experience again. So you don't.
And honestly, funny thing, I have Game of Thrones pajamas, and like they're really comfy, so I wear them. But I feel like shit when I wear them.
I would too. Do you know what you need to do? Is fucking burn them. All right. You need to burn them.
They're too comfy though. They're so comfy.
It doesn't matter.
No idea.
The comfiest PJs ever are no PJs.
That's funny. Nobody talks about that anymore. It's fantastic.
No, it's brilliant. Yeah. It's just dead.
But yeah.
Good job, whoever it was.
Yeah.
Directed that. I don't recall their names. Just cut that out of my brain. I don't ever want to hear them again either.
I think Game of Thrones itself, right? Well, I think it'll become one of those things where, you know, everybody remembers, but it's never actually happened. What's that thing that happens?
I'm just waiting for the books.
Remember they made a movie of that, Aaron, about the singer, or about Queen. Was it Queen? Yeah.
Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah. No, not that movie. No, the movie that they made of it was this Indian guy in it, and he
Bohemian Rhapsody.
No. He remembered this song that nobody else remembered. It was as if they were wiped off the face of the earth. Yesterday. Yeah. So like that. No, Game of Thrones will become a thing like that. It's like we'll wake up one day and everybody will know the words Game of Thrones, but nobody will remember like how big it was supposed to be, or how big it was, what happened, or anything like that. Bar one person.
Game of Thrones was great. Sadly, it only had 4 seasons. That's what I'm going to do for now on.
For me, I had 7.5.
No.
For me, you're pushing at 6.
No. Once they
enjoyed the 7.
Once they ruined the Tyrion Jaime scene in the jail, it's dead.
All right, fair enough.
I'm actually kind of glad. Oh, excuse me. I'm actually kind of glad that I'm not sure who was it. I'm not sure if it was Aaron, Alex, or Mark. I'm not sure which one of these views it was, but yous were going on and on and on to me about watching Game of Thrones, and
Probably Mark.
And I did. I think it might have been Mark.
He got.
And I did, and I got into it, and I have no regrets. Bar season 8.
Yeah.
Which makes me want to kill myself. So, Mark, you fucked me. I done fucking played myself.
Yeah.
For believing in other people.
You done fucked up. But we have shows to look forward to in the future. Like we have the Lord of the Rings Amazon show, which is showing a lot of potential. We have the Halo TV.
Is it though?
Yeah, they have a lot of
a lot of concern.
They have a lot of the creators from the original Lord of the Rings trilogy back on board. So, and they're back to using practical shit like they used for the original trilogy. They're not going the Hobbit route with the over CGI and expanding on stuff they shouldn't be expanding on.
That should have been one movie.
Yeah, I honestly think there was. I think they could have.
Why was Legolas there?
Yeah, that.
Why did they need to have him there? Like,
because he was alive during that time. So yeah.
Yeah, but why he wasn't? Why did they have? What was the point? Did they not think the movies would be good without him or something like?
Honestly, I think it was nice to have him in there. I just wish they didn't. Have a full story arc for him in the movie.
Yeah, it's just why.
It felt like they're really pushing it there, and it's just like, no, just stay focused on the Hobbit, please. Just stay focused on that
I love
story.
the Hobbit book. It's great. It's good fun. And they had to fucking stretch it out and ruin it.
All I'm gonna say is I can't remember the last time I've ever read a book.
Probably never have.
I'm reading a light novel now.
I've watched a book. I've read the Diary of a Wimpy Kid books, and my granny actually used to read books to me when I was a kid as well. When I stayed over at hers, she'd read a chapter to me.
I've reread Harry Potter like 5 times.
I've never read Harry Potter books.
I've reread A Song of Ice and Fire around 3 times.
No.
See, I've reread Dune like 5 times.
No shame here. First book I ever read was a Twilight book.
All right, come
on. And then after that, I went on to the Alex Rider series. And
what was that?
Do you remember that movie Stormbreaker that came out in 2006?
Stormbreaker.
I had Bill Nye in it. Ewan McGregor was in the opening 10 minutes.
There's a Stormbreaker.
What was it about?
It's basically about this teenager whose uncle was a spy, and then this agency recruits the boy to do a job. And
I think they're gonna have a TV series.
Yeah, there's a TV series coming out. They're rebooting it because the movie bombed. It failed.
Of course it did. Then there's another.
I like
another good book ruined by a TV adaptation.
But
add that to the list around down there somewhere with the rest of them.
I read the Alex Rider series. I thought it was great. Then from the same author, he did this other series called The Power of Five, which I read the first book. I was just started the second book, and that's kind of what it was like. I got to the start of the second book, and then I started reading the Jason Bourne book at the same time, and then I just kind of dropped reading at that point. Like I just lost interest in reading. Like I still have those books, and I probably will eventually get around to them. Like I might probably read Harry Potter because I haven't read those books just to get back into reading, But,
I'm not too sure if I ever have time to read. Now, saying that, I do spend a lot of my time on my phone, and especially before I go to sleep. So
you
can always spend 10 minutes, half an hour reading something, but
yeah, but it's like I'm the type of person that when I get into it, I just want to finish it straight away. I need to learn to slow down a bit when it comes to certain things. You had to make it like that, didn't you? Wow. Anyway, yeah. So I don't know. I don't know. Either recommend a book, in the comment section down below of what I should read or what you would like me to read. This is for the viewers. This is for the viewers. But yeah, actually, recommend a book to all of us that we should read. In the comment section down below. Yeah.
Sure, why not?
Yeah. Right.
Okay. So what's next, Alex?
Well,
come on, Alex. You gotta come on. You've got to take control of this. You need to move the thing along because we're gonna be sitting here now like 2 hours nearly. Like this is another 2 hour one.
You can sit more. Let's see, what is it?
I got Warzone to play.
Apparently some music.
Yeah, music.
New albums are out.
Yes, and one of them is actually Big Boy on YouTube, KSI's album.
Yeah, well, let's hear Nathan's review of that.
So,
the greatest thing on earth?
No. I'm not.
The most subscribed YouTuber in the UK.
Most subscribed YouTuber in the UK. Yeah, for those of you guys who don't know, basically, here's a quick backstory. He was a FIFA gamer. He played like scary games. Uploaded videos to YouTube, kind of funny skits and stuff like that. Basically, he's built himself up. You should know him by now. With seeing him box and stuff like that. He's basically built himself up all the way to where he sits now, which is basically he's now known as the king of YouTube in the UK, because he's got the most subs in the UK. But yeah, he released a new album. An actual proper album. Now, Alex, you can't really make fun of him because, from what I remember, when we hooked up El Subo to El Corso, there was a specific song that was...
Red Alert was a good song.
Exactly. So you can't really make fun of him because of the bass, and it was all done by him as well. It was that's why you...
I can take the piss out of anything.
No, but so this is his like a proper album. He's got features on it for I can't really remember on the spot. I think one's Tion Wayne. He's got Lil Pump. He has. Oh God! Why? My mind's gone blank. But he's got some pretty big features on the album. Now he did release a few songs, like 4 songs, I think it was, way before this whole like Corona pandemic. Everybody got to stay inside, lockdown and stuff. But his album came out there on the 22nd of May this month.
What's it called, then?
It is called The Simulation. Yeah.
What does that mean?
It basically means I read it. I searched it up. Isn't it something to do with your past achievements or something like that? Maybe not achievements, but like something like that. I've got a quick one. Hey Google, what does dissimulation mean?
Here's the definition of dissimulation. Concealment of one's thoughts, feelings, or character, pretense.
Alright, so
you're completely off.
I was completely off. I was just thinking because a lot
You're
of
so wrong.
Yeah, I was just thinking in comparison to the album because a lot of his album does talk about like how he has gotten to the position that he's in. So I got confused there. But I did search up Dissimulation when he announced that the album was going to be called Dissimulation. But yeah, so as you would have heard there, it was the concealment of one's thoughts. So what I would gather is that he really keeps his feelings to himself, but it sounds like this album has helped him project some of them feelings which it has. He's talked about a lot of achievements he's done in his life. There is 2 songs on there that aren't kind of like happy-ish songs. There's a little bit of a sad one at the end. It's called Millions. Not a sad song, but kind of a song directed to a certain person that caused a little bit of not mayhem, but like a little bit of hassle in his life. And he does it well to basically describe what went on without mentioning who this person is and exact things on who it is. It's not full on rap, so it's not like you fucked my best friend and left me kind of thing. It was like proper talking about. He was properly describing how he felt using words. So he was. All right.
What? Yeah.
No, was that a good enough description for your face?
Yeah, that was good.
I will say that there is a few bangers on the album, to be quite honest. I'm not gonna lie. Now I know I've done reaction videos on them, and as we stand, I don't dislike any song on the album. Like I myself base my reaction off how the bass sounds in a song. If words kind of feel forced in the song, if they don't feel right, and the flow of the actual song altogether. If the flow from the person rapping, it matches the beat to me, and it seems like an enjoyable song, and there's no lyrics in there that feel forced, then and the bass is like really good. But obviously I can't really tell with my headset, so that's why I always say, like, in my reaction, I'll wait until I play it in the car to actually seal my opinion on it. But so far I've played all the album in the car, and there hasn't been one song yet that I can't re-listen. And it's not a thing where everybody will be like, you're licking his ass, blah blah blah, because you're getting the views from his viewers and stuff like that. It's like, it's nothing to do with that. If it was shit, or if a song was shit, I don't care who you are, I'll say, like, I'm not gonna just turn around and say, like, oh yeah, I love this. What?
Am I shit?
You've got no songs. You do covers of songs. That's not your songs.
And what are they? Are they shit? Are the shit covers, Nathan?
Yes, they're all shit covers.
The covers are shit, yes.
Yeah, they're all shit.
I agree.
Yes. The covers are shit.
Complete garbage. You see, this is what happens when you ask a fucking question like that.
What? No. Like, I'm not gonna. The covers are shit.
I didn't even listen to half of them. I'm just gonna say they're shit.
I was gonna turn around. and
because you're making me answer that.
No. I was gonna turn around.
No, I agree. I think they're all shit.
I could give specifics as to what they're shit. Which is basically how you recorded it all. How you recorded all of it has made it feel a lot more like, or has made it sound a lot more shit, because I've heard you singing, like, when you were trying it here on my equipment to see how you sounded, and you sounded a hell of a lot better in comparison to your shit you recorded using a fucking tablet or whatever it was, or your old Samsung phone. Like, that was trash. Yeah. So, like, I still have that sound clip of you singing there, and it sounds a hell of a lot better. Obviously, this isn't the best mic to be singing into, but you still sounded pretty decent.
This is, though.
Yeah, but you just need to get back up on that and start doing more covers. Also, speaking of covers, Aaron may be doing one for The Last of Us. See what I done there? Kind of done little.
Yeah,
a little.
That term I can't remember the name of.
What?
That's what is that term? Segue. Perfect segue.
Yeah. So yeah, Aaron might be doing a cover of
Sean James's "Through the Valley."
Yes.
Is Ellie from The Last of Us did in a wee trailer that was released at the end of 2016, which is the end of 2016 is a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
We've been waiting a long time for The Last of Us, but so dissimulation. What? Because I don't think you've told me exactly your rating out of 10. What would you give that overall album out of 10?
The overall album, I'm nearly sure I've already done that in my.
Yeah, but you haven't done it here.
No. I'm not done. I'm not done. Just give me a second. So I'm nearly sure I've done it when I was doing my reactions. I've given the overall result, and I'm nearly sure I gave it an 8.9. Yeah, because some of the songs that I rated were an 8.5, some were 7.5, or some were 7.8. Some of them were 9.5. I've always said this, I'll never give it a 10 because there is always room for improvement.
Yep.
But
you have my thoughts as well, yeah.
But I don't go like, oh, it's 9.5 because there's room for improvement, but it's 9.5 because it wasn't his best song that I've heard him, but it was a really good song. If you get me. So, I think I gave it roughly an 8.9 or an 8.8, something like that. That'll be in tomorrow's video. That'll go up. You'll be able to see.
Shittle CW, go subscribe.
But
he'll never mention this channel on his channel, but we can mention his channel on this channel.
I didn't. You
That's
did.
How that works.
I didn't. You did.
Well, you were talking about your reaction video.
But I didn't mention the channel. I didn't say where it was going. I just said I do that on my channel. 8.8 I think is what around the 8 point something anyway. It was high 8 point something. That's what I give it. Alex, I'd recommend you give it a listen. There's some songs in there that are quite bassy. And I do think you'd like it. Nothing like Red Alert. Like Red Alert is Red Alert's a banger all the way fucking through. The way through.
You could keep that on repeat all day. And we did. We kept that on repeat all night and never got bored.
Man, we were running up and down Blaney, spinning around in the car, going from Mucknow to Lynn's and back 50 times a night, blasting Red Alert out the fucking speakers. So
I bet the Blaney locals were fucking mad about that.
I don't give a fuck. Do not care. But this was when there was like discos and stuff on. So it was like
back in those days.
Back in those days. Jesus.
The old days in Blaney when we went up and down the street playing music out of the car.
Back in the day when you could go outside.
I was actually going to say back in the day when I was in Ireland, and but it's like when my YouTube kicks off.
Grandchildren, how Ireland was a beautiful place to live.
When my YouTube kicks off.
That's the reason I got the fuck out.
Yeah, more or less. Yeah. But when my YouTube kicks off, I might move home. I might, but not for life. Not for life. I'm not that stupid. Definitely not for life. I'll move back because I've got friends there.
No, you won't.
No, I would. I'd find a place that's getting 1,000 megabyte download speed of internet from air. And I'd move into that. I will never, ever, ever move into a house anymore. If I don't have to, I will never move into a house that doesn't have 1,000 megabyte download and 1,000 megabyte upload. Ever.
I'll move in with you if you do.
No. This will never happen. This will never happen. Never. But I will 1,000 megabyte or up. That is it. There's no slower internet anymore. I am sorry, but no.
Are those internet speeds even possible in Ireland?
Yeah, my mom and dad's getting a thing up to 1,000.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, and they're in the bumfuck of nowhere.
So I feel like that's you saying, Aaron, so you have no excuse.
No, you do have an excuse because it just hasn't reached your place. They are doing it. but it just hasn't gotten there yet. But yeah, so that's my dissimulation thingy. Now, Aaron, I will say, 1975 have come out with an album.
Yes, they have.
I have listened to one of their songs. It's the one. I can't remember the lyrics and the name for it, but I can describe it and hopefully you'll know. It's the one.
If You're Shy.
Possibly. Is that the one with like the white background when they're all standing? Yeah. If You're Shy. I don't mind that song. I don't mind that song whatsoever. I would listen to that.
It's definitely the. Hold on, I'm just going to make sure I got that name right because I'm not entirely sure if I did get it right or not. It is definitely, could be, possibly. If you're too shy, that's the name of the song. If You're Too Shy. It's the sound that made them popular. Like they have songs called The Sound and Chocolate, and it's along those lines of the sound that made them popular. The album overall, it has that sort of electronic dance type music that you'd expect from them. Like if you know their sound, and if you heard their songs on the radio, it has that in it. But they try to mix that sound with some folk music, as well as some kind of country-esque music. And they even throw in some movie-like score music in there with the full orchestra. Like, honestly, I'd say the genres are almost all over the place. But like I thought, I enjoyed roughly about half of the album. Like I think it was a solid enough album. Like the album's called Notes on a Conditional Form. And like this movie, I think this album was supposed to come out a year and a half ago, but like they've just been constantly working on it, and like the lead, the front man, I think his name is Matt Hayley, I think.
Yep.
He's been constantly announcing new release dates for it, and he's just, it's been all over the place, but it's been released, and I'd say it's an okay album with some really, really bad songs. But the best songs are probably some of the best songs they've put out. So there's like the negative side is just full on negative. Positive sides are full on positive. I'd say it would be I actually gave it a rating there. I think I gave it a 6. I'm just going to double check that. Did I give it a 6 out of 10?
So it's just above average.
I think I did. What did I give it? I gave it, a 6 out of 10. 6 out of 10 simply because the worst are bad, really, really bad, but the best are some of the best they put out. So I think it just earned that above average rating. So I'd say it's worth a listen because they do experiment with a lot of different things. It's an interesting listen, I'll say that much. And but it's definitely not the best album I've heard this year so far.
No, I'll leave that to dissimulation.
Funny about it. No,
that's not
even close to my tastes at all.
I'm only
far from my taste.
I'm joking.
But
there hasn't really been many other albums out. Like there's been like we could talk about this. There's been a guy that's gotten out of prison. Rainbow-haired guy.
No, we're not fucking talking about him.
We are, because he broke the internet.
No,
he broke
I don't give
the
a
internet.
Fuck if he broke the internet, we're not giving him a platform.
He broke the internet. What do you mean we're not giving him a platform? Already, so many people are, so you might as well. Like it makes no difference.
We're not shining a light on that arsehole.
We might as well because it makes no difference because everybody else has done it.
We're not.
Right. Well, his name's 69. All right, I've already said it. His name's 69.
And he's a fucking mong.
Snitch 9.
He's a mong.
Snitch 9, yes. Basically, he came out with a song that's named Gooba. In the song,
awful.
It's not. The song's pretty wavy. It's pretty bouncy. It'll definitely get you into a rhythm, especially when you see the music video. It's just ass everywhere.
Yeah, that's ass. That's not music though.
No, I know, but that's what I said. Especially the music video, it's just ass everywhere. The song's fine. He raps properly in this one. Now, you might have heard some of his other songs where he's just like, "With the blicky, real sticky," that kind of stuff. Yeah, I get that. I get where people come from. Yeah, I know. But I get where people come from when he's like that. But in this music video, he actually like tries to rap, like, for example, who should I say? Like, who actually raps really clear? Like Eminem sometimes raps clear instead of like being all fast and stuff like that. Like he raps quite clear in a certain part of it. And I've never heard that.
That's clear as well.
Okay, yeah.
So you never heard him actually rap instead of gargle out.
No, I've never heard him actually rap until that song, until Gooba, and so when I heard him, I was like, he's actually not that bad. I was surprised.
And another rapper that raps clear that I'm surprised you didn't mention there, NF.
No, NF does, yes. I don't know, he just never came into my head. Also, just a quick one. Speaking about NF, did you know that Apex Legend actually uses his music for their new trailer?
Didn't know the trailer.
Have you? No, none of you have seen the trailer. It pops up as an ad on YouTube. But they're using his song called, I think it's called "Ain't That Something."
Is Apex Legend a big enough game for that to be a big deal?
Apex Legend is a pretty big game, yeah. Yeah.
Fair enough.
NF though didn't seem like he was a pretty big deal. Until I seen that, because he's never rapped for or with Eminem or any of the big artists. He's always just been on his own. He's always done his own thing. He's never really shown, like, he had a tour before this all happened, but it didn't go ahead. Because they announced lockdown like literally a day before. So it was.
He was supposed to go on tour.
It was cancelled. Yeah. No, he was in France. Like, he was in France, ready to go on. But they cancelled it. And my brother actually went as well, and he was in France, and then they cancelled it that night. And so he came back. Yeah, I know, it was terrible. Like, okay. So they rescheduled. But it turns out like they just have to cancel the whole thing. You can't reschedule it anymore. They cancelled the.
That's shit for him. That's really shit for him, because like if he's like a small artist, like he depends on touring to make money. Like that's how artists these days make their money, from touring.
Not really. He'll make it like the music he makes is his own music, so he'll make it straight up on YouTube as well. From people just listening to his music, from people streaming his music, he'll make it on Spotify, iTunes. Like he's not small, but in the view of he hasn't done features with big people. If you get me, he is. If you get what I mean, he has that following. He's known over like quite a lot of places like in the world, but he just has never done huge features before, where this is a huge feature. Being in an Apex Legend trailer is still a huge feature, because he's never branched out like that before to like be in like a game, or to be in somebody else's music video, or to be in this, to be in that. He's always done his own thing. But to see him like kind of branch out now, part of me just doesn't want to believe that he's branched out because of the tour be flopping and not happening, and him needing money. So a part of me is like,
I wouldn't necessarily say it flopped. Like that's the wrong word to use. That just means like it failed. He didn't sell enough tickets. But like it just
he
means
sold enough tickets.
Cancelled.
There were no tickets left. He sold out, but everybody's getting full refund on that. So a part of me's like, did he take this just for that?
So it definitely wasn't postponed then. It was definitely full on cancelled.
No, they did postpone it to another date, but now they've just fully cancelled it.
No.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Can't postpone it unless you know when exactly you'll be able to do it.
He actually dropped an album like 2 months ago. This was just when the whole thing started. It's a pretty decent album as well, I would suggest. Alex, have you ever heard of NF or listened to any of his stuff?
I don't know.
I would check it out. It's alright. Like, there's some catchy songs there. Like, really catchy, and there's a sad one too, but it's so good.
And his music is very, very fucking dramatic as well.
Yeah, he has that, like, he has that effect of it being dramatic, like,
and he's got like a full-on fucking orchestra behind him when he's rapping at times, so
that
adds to it.
Yeah, I think it's the only rapper you can listen to, Aaron, is it?
He's not the only rapper I can listen to, but like he's one of the few I like.
Yeah, that's good.
Like, just mainly because of his use of orchestra, because I'm a big film score buff, and anything with a good orchestra behind it, I'm well happy. Especially with a power of, and I particularly like it when rappers really shout and rap, and their flow is good. Like for example, Eminem and Love the Way You Lie. Like, there's parts of that song where he's just full on shouting those lyrics, and you can feel every word he's saying. Like, that's a lot of what NF gives off when I hear him.
Alex, can you just like see that logo that's behind you? Can you just hide it for a second? Just because, like, I'm getting a bit jealous here, sitting here like with that Secret Labs fucking logo in the chair, sitting behind you, like.
What?
All right.
What?
All right.
What are you talking about?
Fuck you.
Yeah, but there is actually another album I'd like to talk about, and for those of you Paramore fans who know that Paramore recently broke up, like after they finished the tour of their After Laughter album, they officially broke up, and the lead singer Hayley Williams, who you may know, she did a solo track a good few years back with B.O.B. called Airplanes, and she released a solo album there called Petals for Armor, and I think it is probably, even though I haven't heard too many albums this year, I don't really see too many albums topping this one. I think it's probably one of the best albums of the year so far. It is it's full on funk. It's funk, electronic, folk. It's so much fun to listen to. It really is. I can't recommend it enough for any music fan in general. Nathan, I think you might enjoy it. Because there's enough in there. There's tunes in there that you will like. Alex, there's enough in there. Like, I don't even know if you exclusively like really hard, rough rock, bass heavy stuff, but like there's a lot of the songs on Petals for Armor that are just a lot of fun to listen to. So I would highly recommend it to both of you, because I think you might get something out of it. Because you will definitely not get nothing out of it. You will definitely get something out of it. I would highly recommend it.
Are there a pleasant surprise or extreme disappointment?
Yeah.
I liked a few of the old Paramore songs, but I don't know.
You haven't liked their music in recent years, have you? Like Ain't It Fun, or Still Into You, or Fake Happy, or anything like that there? Or have you heard any of those songs?
They're Still Into You one I've heard.
My favorite Paramore song is still The Code.
Oh yeah, that's fucking savage. That's savage. Ignorant is probably one of my favorite Paramore songs.
Yeah, that's
your new best friend.
Yeah,
that's fucking great.
Oh, that's good.
But Paramore fans, if you haven't heard Petals for Armor,
Paramore fans, all 5 of you.
Yeah, funny. But I'm surprised they aren't bigger as well. I thought that like they've had some sort of big radio hits. Like my favorite band, Muse. I thought Paramore would be more popular than them, since Paramore have gotten more radio play than Muse. But you see, Muse were on a stadium tour a few years back, and Paramore were supporting them. So it's just like, okay. I thought like Muse have been going on longer than Paramore. I just think Paramore have had like bigger hits, more successful radio play and all that there. So you'd expect them to, bring in more people.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well,
Pedals Farmer.
That leaves it for...
Well worth the listen.
I think that's it for the music, isn't it?
The biggest thing Paramount was known for was being in Twilight soundtrack.
Yeah, there's actually there's a few albums. I just list off a bunch of.
I just quickly
albums that are coming.
I just read off that the Hayley Williams one was actually in B.O.B. Airplanes, and I didn't know that.
Yeah, I mentioned that.
Yeah, I didn't know that. No, I read it before you were talking about it, but I didn't know that.
All right. Yeah, that was her. Airplanes in the night sky like shooting stars.
Yeah. It was a terrible cover. Her. Never sing again. That
was just me, being me. But there's other albums I'm just gonna list off.
Can you not then?
Lady Gaga has an album coming out. Don't care much about that.
No.
Biffy Clyro have an album coming out on the same day as Katy Perry. Biffy Clyro, I'm more interested in them. Katy Perry, I might give her a wee listen. And Adele has an album coming out in September. And what pissed me off, because we're supposed to get an album on June 5th from Kaleo. And Alex, I know you like them.
I like 3 songs.
An album, but they delayed the album. It's no longer going to be on June 5th. They have to delay the album because of everything going on. Right. Because they can't book a tour right now, so they have to delay the album until they can book a tour, and that's it.
Absolute cunts.
I can't call them cunts because it's something they have to do. Because they're like, if they release the album now and then wait too long down the line to book a tour, they'll probably not sell as much.
Yeah, I guess tickets. They're not big enough to just live off of it.
Yeah, that's it. So like they need to get a tour ready right as the album releases, just so they can get those tickets sold. And I can understand that, but it's annoying because I was really looking forward to it, and all the singles they've released for it. Their album's called Surface Sounds. All the singles they've released for it have all been savage. But it's God, it pissed me off so much. But there's also albums coming from Bon Jovi, Demi Lovato, Jonas Brothers, Sam
I hope
Smith.
that never comes out.
My Chemical Romance are supposed to be releasing another album.
Oh boy, I'll listen to it, but
don't have much hope.
No.
Demi Lovato's album might just take a detour to its AA meeting, so it might not come out.
Let's not go there. That's insensitive. I don't support that humor.
Why not?
I do. It's dark humor. If you can't have a laugh at everything in the world, then I don't know.
Also coming to the Shizzle CW channel, Nathan reacts to dark humor TikToks.
I haven't done it yet, but I will.
But shall we move on, Alex, to an area you may be interested in, more interested in anyway.
A little bit. I do play my games.
Well, let's hope he's more interested in it than he is actually taking the role of leader in the podcast.
Yes. Last of Us 2 leaks.
Have you seen any?
The biggest topic of the last few weeks for everybody, apparently.
Yeah,
I didn't watch the leaks. I saw footnotes of them. I don't really care, to be honest. Everyone's up in arms about it. A lot of people say it's like the games are shit. It's like, well, it depends how they do it. Like,
I haven't heard the leaks.
A few cutscenes were leaked. That's what I saw. I didn't actually watch them. So
all I've heard is that there was a lot of bad blood among the developers, like how they were being treated.
It wasn't even a developer leak.
Yeah, but I haven't heard the leaks, but I just can't imagine them being as bad as everyone's making them out to be. And like because I feel like, honestly, I feel like some people are. I have a strong feeling. They think somebody's going to die in a way they don't want them to die. And
not really that someone's killed and then replaced by someone they don't like. That was the one thing. Someone's replaced by some complete garbage character. That was the main thing.
Somebody's replaced. Okay.
And it was
don't talk about it. Fuck you. Fuck you.
You put the topic list together?
No, but you don't fucking talk about leaks, man.
That was me. But
Something happens.
Yeah, well, I
leaks,
wonder who they replace. Joel with the fucking brother or something.
What? Really? What? They're gonna replace him? Oh
Shut the fuck up.
Ruined everything.
Shut the fuck up.
Well, to be fair, I don't think we were ever going to be able to play as Joel. I think Ellie is the.
Well, the entire
main.
point of 2 was you're playing Ellie now.
Yeah, I know that. But what I'm saying is,
I love the fucking theories from when the first trailer came out. It's like, oh, Joel's already dead. Like what?
Yeah, and honestly, if any,
that was kind of an interesting one though.
Because honestly, I feel like anybody that is expecting Joel to make it out of this game alive is a fool.
Man, like
I never expected Joel. I do not expect Joel to make it out of this game alive at all.
Yeah.
There's not a hope in hell he's going to make it out of this game alive. Not a hope.
I mean, the biggest surprise would be if he does.
Yeah, that would be a shock.
That would be that would be a shock. It's like, wait, he's still alive. What the fuck?
Like honestly, that would actually probably disappoint me if he survived. That would probably disappoint me. I was just like, he's just keeping him alive just because the fans love him. It's just like, no, he honestly, realistically, he should have died in the last game.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
So I just do not see him making out of this game alive. But yeah, I have no idea what those leaks are, but I really hope they're not as bad as because Naughty Dog or PlayStation, anything to do with The Last of Us, they've turned off the comment section to avoid the spoilers, obviously, but they've also turned off the like to dislike ratio, so you can't see how many people have liked it and disliked it. So that is a clear sign that the reception has been pretty awful, and they don't want other people to see how awful it has been. So,
what's this new thing they've done on Twitter to tackle it?
Yeah, apparently there's some. You can open the article there and give it a wee read, because I didn't read it there earlier on. I just posted the link so one of you can read it.
Right. Why is it doing this? We need your help. We need what? I don't. Looks like you're the UK. I don't want. What is it? Allow ads on Games Reader. What is this? I don't want. I don't. Thank you. Thank you. Oh my god. Okay. Just hit that. Oh my god. Really?
Oh yeah, you can disable replies unless you're tagged.
Okay, so apparently there's a new Twitter tool that isn't available to everybody yet, but
yeah, so I'll read it out here.
Release, you'll soon. Okay.
So
it
says Naughty Dog is responding to the persistent spread of The Last of Us 2 leaks by employing Twitter's newest feature. In case you've been hiding from comment sections since that massive The Last of Us 2 leak, firstly, you're safe here. We won't be discussing spoilers here, nor anywhere on the site. That said, I'm saddened to say it's still not safe to expand pretty much any thread related to Naughty Dog's sequel. I've somehow managed to protect myself in the week since the leak, but others haven't been as fortunate. Our own Rachel Weber is privy to information she'd rather not be. While the best... Let me just skip on. While the best protection against The Last of Us 2 spoilers is still just to avoid comment sections unrelated articles, Naughty Dog is making good use of a new Twitter feature that lets you select who, if anyone, can respond to your tweets. It's still in an early testing phase, but that isn't stopping the studio from using it to combat spoilers for a game they've been working on since 2014.
So basically you get to choose who responds to your comments.
So basically, it's not freedom of speech.
Well, in a situation like that, you really, a lot of people really should have freedom of speech. But so it's basically they get to choose who responds to them. That is basically it. I don't see how that would work, because you'd have to know who's going to spoil it. So
no, you can just disable replies. You can't reply to it. So when you click into the tweet, there's no replies.
Yeah.
That's
okay.
Disable that.
I don't like that. I don't know. I don't know. It's getting worse than getting worse than Instagram. Like, it's getting worse than Instagram, where Instagram got rid of Facebook, where Facebook got rid of the dislike button. Remember back years ago when they got rid of it because it hurts people's feelings. It's like, fuck off. I want to express that I don't like this video, so I'll do that by the dislike button. And if I can't do it by the dislike button, I'll comment it then. I will go out of my way to comment because you, Facebook, have stopped me from being able to just click a simple dislike button. Yeah, that's my little rant over.
Yeah, well, honestly, I do not. I think it's necessary for them to do that, because the more people, if people are spoiling it in the comment section, more people are just going to give in, look at the spoilers, and if they're that bad, they probably would consider not even getting the game, and they have to save the sales of the game.
Yeah, but do you realize, right? Do you realize how terrible this is going to be? Everybody's going to be allowed to do it, which means what do I want to say? So when a company is producing a movie, they've thrown out a trailer, right?
Yeah.
That company doesn't like the hate it's getting. It disables the comment section on Twitter. That's the only platform that seems to get any or spark any attention towards if something's wrong. For example, Sonic. When Sonic went down the shitter, when they showed the fucking first trailer of how he looked, what happened? Everybody got on fucking Twitter, complained about it, made it such a huge thing that it was fucking trending.
Yeah, but that wasn't solely replies to the trailer. That was just people individually on their own profiles with the hashtag Sonic the Hedgehog or whatever.
Yes, but it was also but it was also to the trailer. It was also to the comment section underneath the trailer on Twitter. Some people might not even use YouTube.
Even if they turned that off, I don't think it would have stopped people from, because with enough hashtags, you can get it trending worldwide. You can get their attention. You can let them.
I get that. I get that. But do you know what you're not considering? That extra step people now have to go to actually do that. Where it was simple.
It's not even an extra step.
It is because you're already watching. Because you're already watching. You hit the comment or whatever it is, the wee icon to comment, and it already has the @ there for you, and then people already type and just hit enter and it sends it. Whereas now you got to go home, hit tweet out, also tag them, and then I just think there'll be a lot less hate because you have to now go out of your way to do it, and that's what people are trying to get rid of. Which is,
I don't think there'll be much of a difference, in all honesty, if they had done that. But like they didn't do that on YouTube, which is where it was also getting a lot of hate, and they can disable the comments there. So if they
yes, but that's what I'm saying. No, but that's what no. I never said they did. But what I'm saying is, just think of that. If they had of, you know what I mean?
Like other studios and whether or not in the future, if they have that capability, they have it there. But judging from the past, like there's really nothing there to support that they will do it if people are just saying negative things about it, and it's not a leak that people are spoiling things before it's even come out.
But it's like people can spoil something by just coming up with an idea of how it's all going to go down. And then it just takes that person that has never seen a leak or anything, but just to come up with an idea and just to say this is how it's going down. And then they see that comment and then they're just like, fuck that, let's go. Even though the person has never seen a leak. Like, there's that many people out there in the world that 1 or 2 people are going to come up with how the actual plot is going to go down of a game, of a movie, or whatever it may be. Do you know what I mean? It's never always going to be. It's never always going to be above the audience. Like there's going to be there's always somebody that's going to know the plot to something. And all it takes is for the producers to see that tweet or to see that comment under the trailer or whatever, and then they can just be like, oh, we don't like that they've got it spot on and commented under, and technically they're leaking it and blah, blah, blah. Like, let's get rid of the comment section. It's like, Twitter's fine the way it is. You can easily not see spoilers. I haven't come across one yet. People that find or people that see spoilers, or people that are looking for spoilers.
Although, like, you do have some points there. Like, Twitter has gotten an awful bad reputation for having a lot of toxic people on it and bullying people, and like people will, because a lot of people get bullied on it. People in the past have gotten bullied off of Twitter, and now they can simply disable the comment section if people are bullying them, and that's great. That's a great wee tool to use there. It's like, sure, it may take away, like, if so.
Can I just add there? Can I just add there?
Yeah.
If you're a person that allows people you don't even know to comment under whatever it is you post and make you feel that you shouldn't be on this platform and force you off this platform, and you listen to this person, then you, my friend, are 100% worse than them. Because that you would listen to some random stranger that just comments something like, for example, kill yourself under a comment. Like, to me, when I see comments under my videos, let it be people making fun of me, let it be people asking me like to do certain videos, let it be people complimenting my videos. I like
that one dude that wanted you to blow up one day, you know?
Not that one. There was another one where some guy just called me blatant out like, you're a fat fuck or some shit like that. No. And it got flagged up. I unflagged it, allowed it to be viewed under my video, and liked it, and said thanks. Do you know what I mean? Because I don't know that person. I don't care about that person. I don't care about that comment. That comment means nothing to me. Like, the only one that
people handle things in different ways, dude. You know, it's like not everybody can handle something the same way, and when you're getting hammered with abuse, like.
Okay, right now, give me a second.
Like you can't speak for everybody. Like,
no, I can't.
A lot of people handle things different ways.
No, I can't. Yeah, I can't speak for everybody. But why should I be forced then to live like how they so they're satisfied? Do you know what I mean?
So what do you mean?
So why should I then have to now live with that because they can't live like they like? Do you know what I mean? It should just be left how it is.
Forcing you to live that way.
No, but not live, but like, do you know what I mean? Like, why am I being forced now to use Twitter that way just because they can't, like...
Well, you're not being forced to use Twitter anyway.
Do you own Twitter?
Sometimes you won't be able to comment on certain posts.
No, but the same thing could be said about them. Do they own Twitter? Why should we change it for them? Do you know what I mean?
Because it's their profile.
Twitter's decision.
It's their profile.
Whatever.
Yeah, but
why do you care?
Technically, Twitter owns all your profiles, let alone if it's even yours. The company itself will own that. Like, you use Twitter, you use Facebook, you never own any of it. You have no right to any of it, unless it's again an individual that does not work for any of that company.
I disagree with what you're trying to say, but I do get what you're trying to say. Like I do get it, but I can't.
I don't
see.
That's like right. That's like, say for example, take
there's more good to adding that tool to Twitter than bad, in my opinion.
Well, you're taking away people's freedom to speak, like
if you're gonna use your freedom to speak to abuse and bully people, you shouldn't have it. Simple as.
Fair enough.
Same way as if you have the freedom to shoot a gun in the US and you use it to shoot somebody, you shouldn't fucking have it.
Fair enough, but there is also like I can make a comment about someone saying like, I don't know, I don't like your vids. So let's say, for example, like I make that one comment. I should now be blocked, or because they see that comment 2 or 3 times.
That's not the kind of comment.
No, I know. But what I'm saying is, what they should implement, what they need to implement is YouTube's algorithm, which is a flagging system, not a system where the user themselves have control of disabling comments. It should be a flagging system that sees.
Oh, they already have that.
No, they don't. Anybody can write go fucking die on Twitter and it'll just get posted.
There's this thing that comes up where it says you may see abusive content here, and you can click whether or not to see it.
That's on Facebook, lad. That's not on Twitter. I've never seen that on Twitter.
That's on Twitter. I've seen it on Twitter.
I have never seen that feature on Twitter.
Yeah, I've seen
everything's open.
It's, like usually when it doesn't even have to be like a threat. It's just if there's a swear word, there's a filter over as you go through the comment section. You'll eventually have to click on something to.
I have never seen that. I see everything. Maybe it's a thing within your privacy settings. Yeah. No, but like I think, right, the way to do it is to have a filtered system, because then, for example, if I want to comment on somebody's video or on what somebody's done that day, for example, they've ran over a person just out of nowhere, and I want to comment or I want to make a tweet to them or I want to say something about them, I should be able to do that. I should be able to express my opinion, because again, I am one person. As long as I don't continuously go to do it and like continue to do it, then technically I'm not bullying anyone. I'm giving my opinion on who you are as a person. So is everybody else. But if people, for example, like I don't think like bullying has on social media has become such a real hard thing to properly see is what it is. I can bully you, Aaron, right? By continuously making you feel like shit, continuously saying something about you, continuously doing that, right? If I make one comment on you, that ain't bullying.
Yeah.
You know, I make a comment on you, Alex makes a comment on you, but it's an irrelevant, or it's a different comment or whatever it may be. It's me showing my opinion on you. For example, if you run over somebody or if you kill somebody or stab somebody, I'm going to call you a fucking idiot. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm going to say that, but I'm not continuously doing it. If you get me. Or it's like,
yeah, I get
maybe implement a thing where you can't spam.
That haven't done anything. There are innocent people that haven't done anything. Like,
but that's where the flag system.
Example, this is probably the best example. Like that Kelly Marie Tran, he played that one in the sequel trilogy. I can't remember her name. She played Finn's buddy in The Last Jedi. I can't remember her character's name, but just because of the character she played, she got so many death threats and so much abuse on Twitter. She eventually had to leave it, because she even got scared for her life because there was a bunch of people saying they were coming for her. And when you're in the spotlight like that, there are people that are capable of doing that.
Okay, now I'm going to say something. So, right, they disable comment section. They get rid of it. I can just at the person with that comment. So what's the difference? Why even bother to get rid of the comment section then? When I can at that person and it shows up that comment that I would normally put as I would normally comment under that section of whatever it is, a photo or whatever it may be. I can at that person that hate. Why even bother when you've got that system in? I think get in a flagging system that flags certain sentences. So sentences like "go die," "go kill yourself," "go," something like that.
Like I don't disagree with the flagging system. That is definitely a great idea. Yeah. Like there's definitely nothing wrong with that. That's definitely a great idea. Like that's a fantastic idea. But
and just let me add to it. Let me quickly add, right? Also add in the system where maybe a person, right? Don't take away comment section altogether, because hate is also good. If people are hating on you, then it shows that sometimes it shows you've done something wrong. Now, I do understand, yes, there is people out there that have never done anything wrong that do get hate, right? But I'll get to this part first. Hate is a good thing sometimes too. It kind of stops you from doing so. Like, for example, let's say the Logan Paul thing with the forest, right? He got so much hate, obviously then took him to realize that, that was completely wrong, shouldn't have done it, kind of thing. You don't see him going around fucking disabling comments on videos or anything like that. But again, people are different. People are different. I understand that. What I would suggest is taking a flag.
I wasn't going to say that. What I was going to say is, to get to the point where they turn off the comments, they will have to see a bunch of people saying how wrong they were. So before they even turn off the comments, they'll know they did wrong.
I'm just thinking. Put a flagging system in so it flags. Yeah. It flags comments themselves, but within this flagging system, allow the user to put in certain words, but don't take away the whole comment section, or don't put in a thing that takes away the whole comment section. When I can legit go and at the studio that created a game, a leak, and everybody else can find that leak by just putting in the at, because it will come up. Do you know what I mean? It does not make any sense to take away them comment sections whatsoever. Yeah. But put in a flagging system again. I would say that yes, flagging systems don't always work. But I would say if you let the user have control of putting in keywords of that flagging system, then I don't think you'll see much hate then after that. Like, as much anyway, but you still will, because either way, I can just at you hate.
Yeah. It reduces it, and that's really all that matters. So,
yeah. I just think it would reduce it more than the comment section, because people know that this is coming.
Yeah. I just like, when it's available, when the feature is available worldwide, I don't think you will notice it all that much. I don't think it will be used just because we'll see. That's all I can say. We'll see. I don't see it being a big issue with a lot of people when it comes out.
I understand why they'd want to use it for, like, obviously no spoilers and stuff like that. Yeah. But at the same time, you put in the put at The Last of Us 2, you're going to find them straight away. Do you know what I mean?
That's only if you want to do it yourself. Like.
Yeah, but it still doesn't make sense. I want to do it myself, which is I want to even see their last post they've put up. So therefore, I'm still doing that myself. So I should know to expect spoilers. So what's the difference then? Do you know what I mean?
There is no difference, but they're doing what they can. They're doing what they can do, and that's control the comments on their own post.
Yeah.
So the freedom of speech is still there. It's still there for whoever wants to tweet about it with the hashtag. It's still there.
Fair enough.
So the freedom of speech is still there. It's just, if you want to say what's on your mind, you can't put it under the original post. And that's that.
Yeah, I don't mind. So. Like, for example, I'm not saying I don't think I've ever went out and hated on anybody on Twitter. Actually,
I hope you didn't.
That could be a lie. Actually, I'm nearly sure I seen some like fake beef, some like really like, not, I say really small. I know I'm a small YouTuber, but like some small YouTubers like have created like, oh, you called my girlfriend a bitch. You didn't clean up after yourself in the house when all of us like put money towards this house and we all like went in together. I just like vaguely like watched it and it was just like, fuck off. One, doing this for the views, doing it for attention, trying to get like the big news reporters on YouTube to like kind of report the situation to get following. Nobody's gonna touch this shit. It's like, fuck off.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
But honestly, I think, Alex, do you have any thoughts on this? Do you care?
You're muted.
They can do whatever the fuck they want.
Yeah.
Who cares? Who fucking cares if they can't listen to something? If they don't want to listen to something. The entire fucking good thing about the internet. If you don't want to listen to something, don't have to, do you?
Yeah, you can turn it off.
Yeah, you can just.
You can just not look at Twitter. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
You don't want to see it. You don't want to see it.
Oh, I can just disable this so I don't have to see this shit. What the fuck's the issue? Does it affect you in any way? No, it doesn't. You can go look up the hashtag and look at all the garbage. Anyway, so what the fuck?
Yeah.
That's
The
true.
people who don't want to see it but still want to see that stuff, they're not negatively affected by this. So, what's the issue?
No, but I feel like coming from the perspective of actually making YouTube videos and stuff like that, having to turn off my comment section because of people hating on me and stuff like that.
Yeah, but that's you.
No, it doesn't feel right because what happens? No, wait, let me explain. What happens then? That means I then mute the good people that are out there supporting me.
They mute their supporters and haters.
Yeah, which makes no sense whatsoever. Which is why I would say flagging system, because that makes no sense to mute your supporters.
Well, where is there a flagging system?
No.
Well, then the only other option is to disable.
No, it's not. The option is to create a flagging system.
Right, so you're gonna have a company that has a YouTube channel make a flagging system.
No,
for YouTube.
What are you saying? YouTube have a flagging system.
Right,
but what I'm saying is on Twitter, because I use Twitter.
So you're gonna have a company that has a Twitter account get Twitter to make a flagging system.
No, what are you talking about? I'm talking about.
What are you on about? That's what I'm.
The Last of Us is turning their comment section off on Twitter.
Yeah, they turn their comment section off.
On Twitter.
Yeah, what's the issue with that?
On Twitter.
Twitter have a new feature that isn't available worldwide, and that feature is to turn comments off.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is
access to this feature, and they're going to make use of it.
Yeah, I'm saying is get rid of that feature and use a flagging and get
that's a different issue entirely.
No, it's not. And have Twitter make a flagging system feature instead of deleting or turning off comments, because then you turn off comments from both supporters and haters. Fuck the haters, obviously, but like from supporters is what you need.
Okay, so how do you make a flagging system for spoilers for one specific thing?
You do that exactly how YouTube does it. YouTube does it perfectly. If I upload a video on a music video half an hour after it's been released, it flags it, blocks it straight away. It doesn't allow it to go up.
Honestly, I can see why Twitter wouldn't do that, because from the sounds of things, I think it's more convenient for them to make a disabling comment section thing than to make a flagging system. It might be cheaper to do that, to hire somebody to do that. And that's the main reason why because it's not even a Twitter problem for the abuse. Like the executives up at the top of Twitter, it's not their issue at all about the abuse. They're not getting any of the abuse, so that's not something they have to worry about. It's not something they're going to put in the effort to do. Like because
no, I get that.
Twitter get popular off of controversy. So they're not going to put too much effort into doing a flagging system, which is the most effective way to stop abuse, because they know the more abuse, the more controversy on Twitter is the more platform Twitter get. So more people are going to go to Twitter.
Right. But that you've just fucked yourself in that argument, because now they've gotten rid of all of hate, so they've got no hate, they've got no controversy. It's all gone. They're deleting comment section. They're deleting comment section. If they get huge off hate, why are they deleting comment section then? That makes no sense.
I don't know. All I'm saying, one is more convenient than the other, and I don't know.
But it's not. Well, actually, yeah, one is more convenient than the other. A flagging system is more
turning
convenient
off
than
comment
the other.
section is easier than making a flagging system.
What?
Does that make sense?
You're coding in a system that's just gonna flag up words. It's probably got the same amount of coding You've muted yourself, Alex, by the way. It's probably got the same amount of coding as it would have to implement a switch to disable, to activate and deactivate a comment section.
Oh, well. Maybe I am wrong there. But
what the issue is you've got to have some AI in the background that's going to keep on track with flagging up these comments. That's the issue.
It's easier to just turn off the comment section.
I mean, Twitter probably just fucking rob it from YouTube anyway. You know, big company. Well, like what? Like, I don't even know how Twitter. Like, how's Twitter even making money? If they are even, do they have ads on Twitter?
Yeah.
Well, maybe my maybe my ad block doesn't allow me to say it, but I've never seen an ad on Twitter.
Oh yeah, because people have to pay to promote shit on Twitter.
Oh yeah, but that's
businesses will pay money. So
yeah, but that's, you're promoting a video. It doesn't show up like a proper ad. You know, like when I go to watch a video, it doesn't show up an ad before it or after, in the middle of it, kind of thing. Yeah, it doesn't have that kind of ads. Yeah,
like I have a bunch of shit popping up on my homepage from people I don't follow. So, and it's obvious that it was paid. People pay Twitter to promote shit, and so that's millions of accounts on Twitter, hundreds of thousands at least paying Twitter to promote shit. So that's probably one of the main ways to get their money.
Yeah.
So there is that. But I think we should move on to something a little more interesting. If there is anything more interesting, Alex, is there?
Really? Oh. Because PS5 theories. There's nothing really.
There's nothing really on
that.
Well,
is it not a fact, or is it a theory? Is it not something announced?
It can't be a fact unless we actually get the PS5 and test it ourselves. You never trust the word of a company.
When I play a game on the PS5, it's running 60 FPS.
That's when it'll be a fact.
Then
so it's not a fact that the PS5 will be 100 times faster.
It's a theory.
It's a theory. Right?
Yeah.
Well, it depends. How do you run the numbers there?
By playing the games. What can you not do? Play the games.
Oh, you can compare hardware numbers right now. So.
Yeah, you can do that, but hardware doesn't mean anything until you've actually sat down and played the thing.
Still does.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Look. Okay.
If you
okay. Yeah. If I get RTX 2080 to a 960, then okay. Yes. Yeah. I get. Yeah. Okay. But are they talking about like 100 times faster, as in like the individual component will be 100 times faster? Or are they talking as a collective the PS5 will be faster? Because if they are, have they also considered the PS5 being loaded with certain amount of games and having a cache a folder full from, like, let's say 10 or 20 games on it? Possibly won't even get 10 or 20 games on it because they'll all be like 100 fucking gig. But like with 8 or 9 games on it, have they considered like all these other apps that you're gonna have on it as well? Have they fully loaded the PS5 and then tested it and it's still 100 times faster, or is this just straight factory reset?
Thing they were talking about that's 100 times faster is the SSD.
Okay.
What did they have? A 7200 hard drive? It's like, oh yeah, it is fucking faster.
Yeah, the hard drives they were using were made in 1985. Let's only start using SSDs that were made in 2009. You know, like
I linked an article there if you want to read it as well.
Let me have a look at it there. Oh my
full details.
God, why is it like? Why did it? I don't want to. Like, can I can't actually read this site without having to disable my ad block.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, some websites have that in.
Most websites have that in.
Like, why?
So 13 autoplay videos and 15 pop-ups. Lovely.
Like, I don't want this. Like, get off my screen. Right. So PS5 is approximately 100 times faster than PS4 according to Sony's president.
Well, that's a clip.
Right. I'm not watching that. Like music or whatever started playing in the background there, so that's obviously going to be.
They have autoplay trailers on that.
It's gonna be recording in the background, or sorry, in this podcast when we upload it. That's gonna be there. So nice one. But yeah, no, I'll leave you with this. I'll believe it when I get a PS5 and test it out.
All right, fair enough though.
And I will get a PS5, and the game that I want to get it for is the next Spider-Man, because oh my god, I cannot stop playing Spider-Man. Just going swinging around.
Is there going to be another Spider-Man?
Of course there is. They've set it up in the first one.
All right. Well, I didn't watch the first one, so
I don't think it's been like greenlit and everything, but there will be. The success that one had, 100% there's going to be another one.
Like so you're just assuming there's going to be a second one because they set it up.
Yeah, but they set it up. It was like it was really successful when it was released. Everybody and their fucking cat was playing it. So, like, it's not even a discussion to be like, are they making? They're gonna make another one. I'm basing it off that, yeah. But like, yeah, they're gonna.
Like, I would be surprised if they set up a sequel at the end of the first one.
So
I'm surprised because, like, I remember around the time the game launched, there was a lot of people talking about it.
Yeah. A lot of people talking about a lot of people buying PS4s.
Even this dude I follow on YouTube who does not like playing video games. Like he started playing it even though he hates video games.
Yeah, because it's Spider-Man.
Yeah.
It's like the nostalgia of just swinging around the city is.
What do you mean by the nostalgia of swinging around the city?
Because of the old Spider-Man games.
Alright, fair enough.
From like the PS2. Like Spider-Man 3 and Spider-Man.
I thought you were just going to say, the memories I had of swinging around New York City when I was 5 years old.
Yeah. Had to stop it. Mom and Dad wouldn't let me do it anymore. Just in case I got caught, you know.
It was too dangerous. Too dangerous.
You know, like with great power comes great responsibility, and so I decided to not let people know about my powers.
With great power comes great responsibility, so I did fuck all.
Exactly. And I am responsible for fuck all. Alright, so
Alex, will you be getting the PS5?
Yeah.
Probably, yeah. Skip the PS4. I get the PS5 just for some PS4 games as well.
Nice.
So you are a PlayStation person and an Xbox person?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, if you had the money, you'd buy both, like.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
So Nathan, with your new job, potential new job money, would you be getting both of them? Or would you just be saving up for the perfect setup?
No, I've got the perfect setup, quote unquote perfect. Other than just needing to upgrade a few parts of my PC, but I'm thinking of just getting a whole new build and going Intel with this one just to test out FPS. I'm aiming for about 300 FPS. So I'm looking to get like a RTX 20. I wanted to get a 2080 Ti, but the 3000 series are nearly out, and Alex was telling me to wait for that. So I might just wait on that. But I'd have to wait until after they come out as well, just to see the actual reviews and what they can actually pull. But yeah, RTX 2080. I'm going for Intel.
The thing is, it's just next generation, and they're going to be the same price.
Yeah.
That's the only thing.
Yeah, it'll be a bit faster.
Well.
It'll be a little bit better.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah. It'll be the same price as what one is now. So it's like, yeah.
That's always the thing.
Yeah.
The Xbox One and PS4 are the same price when they launched, weren't they?
GPUs. PC talk, Aaron. PC talk.
Yeah, I'm talking. Yeah, that's why I was so confused. So I'd be looking to get like a
foreign language
RTX 3000 with an Intel i10, because I believe the 10s will be out unless they are out.
Yeah.
i10. isn't it 10th generation? It's i10 10th generation, isn't it? That with a ROG Strix Marksman 11 motherboard, 32 gig of RAM, and I've got a fly in my room, and I believe that's it. Like, obviously there'll be SSDs and hard drives and stuff, but I'll pull them from the rig I've got at the minute and then leave one hard drive in it and just sell it. But yeah, I'm looking to get 300 FPS just so I can stream games off the same rig and have very little impact on the FPS. Whereas at the minute, I'm like playing Call of Duty. I'm playing it at like 112 FPS, but it's like when I go to stream, that just like falls to like 80. Which is not good because I've got a 144 hertz monitor, so I need that 144 FPS just for my game to look amazing, and then to be able to stream.
Amazing.
But yeah, that's what I'm looking to do. I'm looking to do the rig. I don't really care for consoles at the minute, but when the next Spider-Man's announced, I'll probably worry about it then. Just because that's already really got the PS4 for. Was for Spider-Man and Call of Duty. Call of Duty was being released on PS4 2 days before it was released on everywhere else. So on Xbox and PC.
Well, of course.
Oh well, yeah, and for the Last of Us. Yeah, but there'll not be another Last of Us after that. After the second one. And if there is, and they've killed off Joel, then I'm not even going to bother. So I think this will be the last of Us for me.
Yeah, well, I'd be honestly. I was mild. I'd say I was pretty surprised they did a second one, so I'd be even more shocked if they did a third one. But yeah, well, we'll see how they end the second one. See if they leave any doors open. But yeah. Alex, would you care to take us home?
Cheers, we're done. Fuck off.
The enthusiasm in this man is mad.
It's overwhelming.
It is.
Absolutely overwhelming.
I believe what he means to say is thanks for tuning in and watching this episode. If you liked it, hit the like button. Also hit subscribe. And we'll be hopefully posting clips of this whole thing. If Aaron keeps up to date with it, which normally he's really good at. It's normally me that is a bit behind, but we'll be uploading clips.
Episodes, I do the segments.
Yeah, and we should have them segments up probably one a week every Friday.
One episode every week, every Friday. Stay tuned. So much content
6 p.m.
on the way.
6 p.m. every day. Every day. 6 p.m. every Friday.
Between 4 and 6.
No, we gotta have one set time, like.
Okay, 6.
All right, okay.
I'll set it at 6.
Okay. So yeah,
we're organized.
So yeah,
guess which time zone? Who knows?
Yeah.
PMT.
We'll throw a dice to which time zone every week.
Yeah. No, it'll be 6 p.m. GMT. Obviously, you guys would have guessed that because of the accents. We're not American. Yeah. We're definitely not Polish.
Clearly not.
We're definitely not Polish. But yeah, so 6 p.m. every Friday, GMT. Just for those of you dipshits out there. Alex.
Let's not insult the dipshits.
And he calls them dipshits. But anyway, right, yeah. So thank you for tuning in. And we will catch you in the next episode, which will possibly be
TN.
Next week, I think. Next week. When are we uploading full episodes?
I have no idea.
Every Monday?
I have no idea.
Brilliant planning.
Every Monday, I think.
No idea.
I think Monday 6 p.m.
Who knows?
It'll be up when it's up.
It'll be up every Monday. Yeah. So, catch you guys next Monday for or actually, you'll be watching this, so I'll catch you guys the Monday after for another episode. So yeah, that's it. We're done.
I'm so confused. See ya. Good luck. Bye.